Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. Sorry, I've got a really bad frog in my throat. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things that you love with the ones that you love to do them with. And we might not be doing the things we love with SAVINHO. Apparently, there has been a new bomber that has just dropped from... well, there's been two new bombers. Oh my God, Romero has signed a new deal at Tottenham Hotspur. It's all dropping. It's all dropping. Holy hell, what is going on? Paul O'Keefe bomber just as we go live. What is going on? What are we doing here? Guys, strap yourselves in. This is going to be a day and a show. Well, we got a lot to talk about because we've got the Romero bomber. We've got apparently a SAVINHO Nego bomber where we're not getting what we love, apparently. We're going to be bringing that up in a second. It's all going off. Do I need to change the thumbnail? I don't know whether this is good news or bad news. Great news from Cootie. Terrible news regarding SAVINHO. If true, the people are going to join us in a second. Cootie has agreed to sign a new deal at Spurs, all done and sealed. The Spurs captain, let me get it up on the stream, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's get it. Guys, strap yourself in, smash the like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. And strap yourselves in, guys. Strap yourselves in. Here we go. Cootie Romero has agreed to sign a new deal at Spurs. All done and sealed. Spurs captain decided back in June to stay, and the new contract is now complete. Tottenham new manager Frank sees Cootie as a key part of the project, and despite all links to that let it go, deal was never close. People are saying that the SAVINHO news has already been disproved as well. It is just one of those days. What are we doing here? Savio's still on. When you get a bomber, the second that you go live, so all those people that said that Romero was going to leave because they knew what was going on, right? They knew what was going on, people. Well, let me just tell you this.
Yeah! Come on, yeah! Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, is my source.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro, is my source. Listen. My chairman, Sir Daniel Levy. Sir Daniel Levy is he's just a brilliant chairman. He gets it done. He told you. We're going to hopefully get the Eze bomber tonight or tomorrow. I've got to figure out what's going on. So that's SAVINHO story. Where has the SAVINHO story already been disproven? Because this is what we're currently seeing. This is what I'm seeing, right? This is what I'm seeing here. On the wrong page. I am. This is the one I want. That's what I've seen. Guillaume Balag, who works for CBS, Sports Galazzo, BBC 5 Live, La Liga TV, all this nonsense. Guy Clothing, YouTube. Well, he says it's done, that City have decided to keep SAVINHO. But where everyone's saying it's disproven. Where's the disproof? Where am I seeing that? Let's have a look, see. What are we doing here? Christian Romero signed a new contract. Romero. Good things are happening at Tottenham. Look at my man as well, Decky. Oh, he's just an absolute warrior. Look at him. Smashing it out of the ground. Jed Spence is also here to stay. We saw that one. We were talking about that a few weeks ago, or last week. We were saying it was nearly done. But where's this stuff about Where's this stuff about Savinho? Where is it? I need the disproof. What are we doing here? Brat, we need forward so much. Eze is great, but one or two more is essential. Only one guy posted on X about him not coming to Spurs. Savinho was never going to happen until after the City game, says Spursy Rob. Romero bomber. I don't think Romero was the first one, though, was he? Oh, sorry. I thought you said Romano. Sorry, my bad. He's got 30,000 followers on Instagram. Who? That Guilherme guy. How long is the Romero con? I don't know. I've got the details. You got the details? Tell you what, though. Does that make him, in all likelihood, the new club's highest earner? We need the details. No way is Savinho off. Just one bloke with an X account. Listen, I don't care, Benny boy. I don't care how long it's for. I care what he's getting paid, because if he's over 200 grand, then you know what that means, don't you? It means that for those people that said that I was in the mud, it's not me that's in the mud, people. It's not me.
Mud, mud, mud for you. You're always in the mud. You didn't think it could be true, and now you're in the mud.
There's going to be so much mud. And I've got the receipts. I have the receipts of so many videos, so many comments of people telling me, we're not, Cootie's off. We're not signing Eze. We're not signing Savinho. We're not signing anybody. Yada, 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 yada. It's not going to happen, though, is it? It's not going to happen. You know, we're getting some of these. For F's sake, Sean, for fuck's sake, how does Sean have one for everything? Yeah, just in case, I've got about 400 more lined up, waiting to go for the appropriate moments. Unbelievable stuff. AK Shegs appreciating the AI. They're actually not AI videos, by the way. I'll do the video. I have to go and find the video content, but the songs do their job. Sean ticking off predictions this week. 100% voided. 100%. Definitely need the details. Need to see if they surpass the 200k limit. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. What else are we talking about, then? Let's talk about some other things that are going on, right? So, Sean, read his actual post. It doesn't make sense. He says it's off as no bid for Rodrigo has been made, but it won't be made until we buy him. Yeah, he's completely wrong, because we've made several bids for them. Several bids. Ah, dear. Eze is great. If we can't get Savinho, then Elliot, please, to Tottenham ASAP, says Denverlingis. Eze removes Palace from his bio. No, really? 2029 is his new contract, is it? Look at the comments are flooding in, guys. They're flooding in. Everyone needs some action. Let's talk a little bit about the action that's going on. So right now, we know that Daniel Levy, my chairman, has stepped in and taken over to speak with Parish, just the two of them. Things you love to see. It sounds like we're a couple of million away. Who would you want, Sean, if Savio wasn't to happen? Malik Fofana, I think would be quality. I'd still take Garnacho, but I think he would be a massive underwhelming signing right now, based on what we're in for. I would take Ademola Lookman. I would take if we're looking for a 10 that can play out, well, Eze can play it. What I would do is go and get Eze, play him out on the 10 or in the left, and then go and get another 10. Go and get me a Dani Olmo. He can do that. Go and get me a Pedro Gonçalves. He can play a little bit of everywhere. Like, if we've got money, if we've got serious money to play with, to the point where we're willing to pay 60 million quid for Eze, 70 million for Savinho, and the deal's off because Pep's being a donut, And we're also looking at something like a triggering the £50 million, £55 million release fee on Hincapie. That's some serious money that my chairman's put together, guys. That is some serious money. And I want you to start paying some respect on his name. Akliouche. I like Akliouche. He's definitely a good player. Excuse me. He's definitely a very good player. But whenever I've watched him, and I went and looked at him extensively under the Y Scout about a month ago, and I wasn't that impressed when I looked beneath the surface. I'll be entirely honest. I think he's a very good player. I don't think he's top draw, but he's young. He's got loads and loads and loads of potential. Have a look at Haraldson from Lille. Not familiar with it. Not familiar with it. Stop milking it, Sean. Stop milking what? My chairman. My chairman. Oh, I've got receipts. You know what? I might even bring up some of the comments. Well, I'll wait until something actually officially drops, right? So we've got the Cootie story is absolutely tantalizing, because that solves a lot of problems, right? If he's not going anywhere, if he's committed to Tottenham, he's happy, he's convinced his wife, he's convinced his family, you know, that we're the place to be. You know what the thing is, though, is that his family's probably forgotten that summer here lasts about 2 weeks. It's very clever that Tottenham got them to sign on the dotted line during the summer months, when maybe like the wife and the kids and everything were having a nice day in 40-degree heat, whilst I'm sitting there sweating my 18-stone bollocks off. The Romero family are probably like, oh, this is a beautiful place now, actually. Let's stay in North London. And then come around September the 15th, when the rain starts coming in, that cold northwesterly wind starts to like make your nipples go a little bit hard. They start to go, oh, mate, made a mistake. Should have been to Spain. Should have gone to Spain. Antonio Nusas is Lily White Sam. Yeah. Near we go. Very clever. Listen, mate. You know, you have to get out of bed very early in the morning to catch me not creating clickbait kind of titles and thumbs. But hopefully you come for the clickbait, but you stay for the click-worthy. You know, hopefully it is click-worthy. Yeah, wait till November. Romero transfer request, Mr. Wignall. 100%. 100%. I mean, look, it's good news. It's really good news. I need some information to drop, though. I want to know exactly how much we're talking about here. Ben Doak, by the way, become a new Bournemouth player. Interesting signing. Liverpool are going to go. Well, I think Liverpool are going to go and get Hincapie. As much as Tottenham might be able to go and get Romero, Eze done, and also SAVINHO done. As much as that might happen, I think that Hincapie will be not short of suitors. He's one of the very few last remaining left-footed, left-sided left backs that can play in a 4, a 3, or even play as a left back in a 4 as well. Not that many of them out there. You have maybe Castello Lucaba. Maybe you could do the same thing with like an Evan Indika. In fact, let me get my Y Scout up. I'll show you on the screen. Oh, I'm not logged in. Bollocks. I'll do it later. It's Ben Seguir's good player. Afternoon legend. Good to see you. London is basically the Bahamas compared to where I live, says listed. Sean, now rumoured we are after Nathan Collins as well. He's signed by Frankfurt, Brentford from Wolves. Yeah, look, Nathan Collins isn't going to make anybody like sit up and go, wow. But he's a very competent player. But, you know, like without no disrespect to him, I think the disrespect comes on his name. I think because his name's not Nathaniel Kellini, people think of him as just a ginger Irish guy or whatever that, you know, therefore he gets downplayed a little bit. I just can't imagine, though, that Tottenham are going to... that Brentford are going to... Brentford got torn apart by Forest on the weekend, and they've just made him their captain. So to me, it's one of those situations where, like, are you going to do it or are you not? Let me see let me get my list up of... hang on. Left. What? You know what? I need to get... I'm going to log in. I'm going to log in now. Screw it. What's my login? Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'll get my... Because it's much better to do it off the Y Scout. Is it here? My password. Let's have a look. This might be it. Oh. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I do apologise. Is this it? No. I'll come back to it. I'll do it in a minute. But there's a few left-sided centre backs that we can go after, but there's not. It's a bit of a crowded market, and if Chelsea need to go and replace Colwill, which they will do, then they might be after them. Would you go and let me ask you guys this? Would you, if we're going to be playing a little bit more of this kind of back three stuff for like some of the bigger games, would you be interested in seeing if Paratici could go and get Gleison Bremer? You know, I don't mind it. I don't mind Gleison Bremer. I think he's a quality player. But we shall see. Let me just reset my password here, and then we can get into the voice count. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. We're done. Let's log in, and we're good to go. We're going to find the left back, and we're also going to find. We're also going to find a. We're in, yeah, we're in, people. We're in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Edmund Tapsoba. Edmund Tapsoba. Yeah, I like Edmund Tapsoba. I still think he's quality. Anthony Robinson is a left back. He's going to cost you a fortune, but you know what? Tottenham must have money. And let's do some sort of like joined up thinking here. What has convinced Romero to stay? Is it more money? Maybe, but he was unhappy, or not? His white family was unhappy. What's convinced him to stay? Is it signing Polinia? Not enough. Is it signing Polinia and Kudus? Not enough. Is it the conviction in which they've said, don't worry, there's money coming in and we have money to spend? And I think that is being demonstrated by our willingness to go back 3 times, 4 times. What bid are we on now for Savinho? 3 or 4? And we've jumped it up 50 million, 60 million, 70 million. According to all reports, Pep Guardiola is the only person that's hesitant on selling Savinho. Apparently, even his own people in the Manchester City ecosystem are saying we should let him go. We should let him go. 3 bids rejected, Acheron. Yeah, Acheron. Don't want a Max Kilman. No, thank you. Not for me. They bullshitted him, Sean. Who has? The Tottenham guys. What are we doing now? Daniel Levy, my chairman, has turned around. And you know what? Morgan Gibbs-White's going, shit. Or is he, though? Because Forest have actually done quite a bit as well, to be fair. One hell of a last couple of weeks coming in, I think. One hell of a last couple of weeks. Well done, breaking news. Well done, Azhar. In other news, mate, water is wet. We're well ahead of you, bro. We've been going for 20 minutes. Savinho will be a deadline day classic from Levy. Nah, Savinho's coming in. Semenyo's just signed a new deal. Yeah, we're not going to get Semenyo. We were interested in Semenyo, but he's just signed a new deal. And Bournemouth surely can't afford to sell him. He was brilliant the other night. Everyone told me he's well overrated, Butler, you're wrong about him. I was like, nah, I'm not. Semenyo is an absolute alatata. Artetiata is a good player. I don't mind him. Don't mind him at all. I think he's well underrated, if I'm entirely honest. We were linked with him like 2 years ago, but then he emerged. I think it would cost a lot of money now. It's a fascinating. Yeah, Gibbs White's performance was very good yesterday. He sort of won them over, didn't he? And that's why, like, with regards Collins, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that Brentford can afford to lose him. Mikhail Tadzi, Daniel Hooson. Why not, mate? Why not? Now we're talking, Josh Caress. Now we are talking, my man. Listen, if it doesn't happen, let me ask you this. Let me put a poll out. It's time for a poll. Time for a poll. How do I do this? How do I get to my own channel? Let's go to the poll ski. Right. By the way, smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe as well. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed and you want to chat, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. You get instant access. Would you take? This is the first of several polls today. Okay. Would you take Eze and Rodgers if Savinho fails? Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what we're doing there. What am I doing here? Catch up. Give you a few minutes on that one. What about Magnus Akliushe? I just spoke about him, Radar. I rate him. I do rate him, but I don't rate him as much as everybody else. Everyone's saying he's like the next greatest thing. Let's wait and see. I think he had a good season last year for Monaco. 299 from El Dante. Lemon character raising both his thumbs up. What? What's that? Is that like a super chat that hasn't been... There's no super chats flagging on my computer. That's so weird. That is wildly weird. Is that a super chat? Can someone just tell me? Did you put in a super chat then? You put in a super sticker? I'm not seeing anything coming through. That's so odd. How am I gonna be able to see the super stickers if they're coming through? Jesus, there's loads of them. There's a few of them. I'm gonna have to call. I'm gonna have to like. I don't know what to do here. Why is that not working? I'll tell you what, guys. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Let me see if I can drop out, and then just bear with me 1 second, okay? Just don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Is it coming over? What the fuck is going on? Hang on, I'll be right back. Right, now we're better. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I can see it now. Don't know what's going on. That was so weird. That was so weird. Right, let's get back to the comments, and then we got super. Here we go. El Dante with a super sticker. That was so weird. Thank you very much for the super sticker, my man. Appreciate you very much indeed. Roy Viken has also come in saying, looking forward to seeing how certain content creators manage to spin this negatively. Yeah, look. You know, content's got a content, Roy. Content's got a content, my man. Thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. And we've also got MW3 Nerdify. Big up to you, my man, becoming a new member. By the way, Wednesday night is going to be the next fan phone-in show. I wasn't taking a small break. I was just trying to figure out what was going on, why the super sticker things weren't coming through. Sean's been pranked here. Yeah, probably. Yo, Big Sean, how's your father? My father is okay, mate. Yeah, he's back. He had his kidney removed for cancer, didn't he? But he's fighting back, mate. So I appreciate you. You've done a super chat and a super sticker. Have you? If I've missed any others, I can't see any of them. All I can see is El Dante, Roy, and M3 and NW3. I apologize if any have gone through that I haven't seen any of them, guys. I really do apologize. Did your super chat not get read out either? I haven't seen any of them. Oh, it's happening again. Is that another super sticker? What? It's not. None of these things are registering. This is wild. What am I doing here? How am I supposed to fix this? StreamYard's on a meltdown, I think. Is StreamYard on a meltdown? Oh, they're pulling my leg. Oh, you bastards. Okay, cool. Good. Very clever. Very clever. And let's carry on. Let's carry on, cheeky little gits. All right, guys. Anyway, so Romero signs a new deal. Eze's about to drop, you hope. And Savinho's not done. He's not off in any way, shape, or form. I mean, on a scale of 1 to my chairman, I think this is a my chairman moment, don't we? Don't we think that? So Romano has said that, oh, look at this. Look at this. Timothy's trying to claim credit. Oh, you love to see it. You absolutely love to see this. Let me share this screen with you. So, which one is it? Which one is it? Here we go. One of the most shameless ITKs in the game is saying no credit for Fabrizio, no credit for me. He says when Eze came out and said Tottenham and Crystal Palace chairmans Daniel Levy and Steve Parish in direct contact today for Everett. The Eze deal. Understand Spurs are willing to offer 55 fixed plus 5 add-ons to get the deal done. Eze informed Palace last week of his desire to join THFC. He's saying no. Timothy's saying no credit. Do we have to go back and find out exactly when did Timothy say it? He's also saying, genuinely surprised how quick the media got it this time. I wasn't even able to post it quick enough. Ah, fuck off. It's shameless. Yeah, let's have a look what else he's saying. This is true. Happened at 2 p.m. Couldn't post it because it was too early. Meeting's done for today. Danny Snake, apart from one more, but I can't say anything on it as of now, but it's not a transfer. So he's saying he got that at 2:15. All right. The only hold up is Crystal Palace at the moment. They want Eberici Eze for their game in the UEFA Conference League. However, if they believe they can sign Bilal El Kanous, the deal will go through. Yves Bissouma to Fenerbahce gaining some traction. Where's this one? Oh, maybe so. Someone's saying that he did say it first. Where's this one from 4 hours ago? People are giving him credit. Never fucking doubt THFC Timothy, the GOAT of Spurs Twitter. Fair enough. Don't get too excited, but that wasn't the only meeting scheduled for today. Be correct also. What's he saying here? Eze news. Eze bid expected in the next day or two will be below the release clause, lower than people think, around 55 to 60 million. I've just heard that Eze will be a Spurs player. That was last night at 10:56. All parties are expected to Eze to join Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. That was 4 days ago. Oh, he's taking the credit for it. Heard it here first. Fair enough. Fair enough. Am I following the guy? I'm not following him. I better follow him then. I probably should turn on notifications. Content's got a content, you know. Content has to content. Let's go back to this one. And that's our ITK update for the moment. We'll see what else happens.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, it's my source.
Where are we going next, people? Where are we going next? Are we saying that Tottenham is Eze going to drop today? Is it going to be a bombalicious afternoon? Are we going to Archer, mate, bro? You are the most Levy out. Like, just give credit where it's due, mate. You can keep your narrative that he's the worst chairman in the game if you want. I mean, you're wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. My chairman is one of the best at the game. He just, doesn't do it the way that other chairmen do. He doesn't do it the way you do. Sean, I love the little filler vids on your channel. I crease laughing at them. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. Why is Savinho off? No, it's just some other ITK has said. Some other ITK has said that Guillaume Balaug or something has said it's off, but people are saying other people are saying that it's been poo-pooed already. I think the detail, I haven't actually seen it, but I think the detail in his statement doesn't make any sense. He's saying that Tottenham had never made an actual bid, but you know, I'll prefer to listen to Ornstein and the Romanos than other people. There's more coming out. There's more coming out. My things are pinging like I'm in Ibiza. Lily Wright Rose has retweeted that just in Tottenham Hotspur. And I'll show you what I'm sharing. Show you what I'm seeing. Hang on. Might as well keep this up, shall we? But let my face be a little bit more visible because content's got a content. And we're gonna go and search for some more alternatives in a second. But how did I get to? So 80. I asked you the question: would you take Eze and Rodgers if Savinho fails? 84% of you said yes. 16% said no. Why wouldn't you take Rodgers? He's insane. He's insanely good. Where's what I was looking at here? So Manchester City, Tottenham and Crystal Palace remain. Those ones already been done. How do I get just the Tottenham stuff? Where's my notifications? Huge news for Tottenham, says Matt Law. Spurs Global has said it. Is that also coming from from Tottenham Hotspur official? Love to see a little bit of detail, though. Love to know if I'm off the hook with my and/or club's highest transfer and/or club's new highest earner. Oh, here we go. Christian Romero signs new 4-year contract at Tottenham Hotspur. Does it give any indication of what he's earning? Oh, I'm a paid member of the Athletic. Why is it not registering? Jesus Christ! Unbelievable. Aston Villa have added Nicholas Jackson to their shortlist. What's going to happen with Ollie Watkins? Any of you think that Tottenham could do a cheeky little rat-a-tar-tar for an Ollie Watkins, by the way? I'm not sure. We'll come back to that if more drops. That looked like something else, Sean. What looked like something else? No. It's a working day. Would I take Matoma or Liao? I'd certainly take... Yeah, I'd take both of them. I like Rafael Liao. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. I think he's a bit of a hit and miss guy, but he's 70% on it, So he's very good. And Matoma, yeah, I love him. Absolutely, I love Matoma. He's quality as well. Why wouldn't you want him? Why wouldn't you want Matoma? It'd be fantastic. Brilliant. Balag hasn't been a credible source for about 10 years, says Martin. Oh, fair enough. 4-year deal. Hang on 1 second. Someone's texting me and wants to come on. Hang on, mate. I'm streaming. Oh, sorry, guys. 1 second. But I'll ask Sam how. Yeah. 1 second. Again, some people want to come on and have a chin wag. There you go. That's that one done. Sorry about that. Sorry, everybody. Dead air. I'll have to edit that out of the upload because on the podcast, everyone's going to be thinking, what the hell's he talking about? Earlier on, he was moaning about no super chat visibility. You guys were winding me up. Sorry, sorry, listeners. Sorry, mate. Sorry. People were asking for the link. I had to send the link. You know, I apologize. I'm the height of professionalism. I've only had, I don't know, 16 beers. No, I'm only kidding. I've had 2 beers. Because it's a day to get absolutely rat-a-tat-tat into recognising that Tottenham are back, baby. Tottenham are back. Romero's a new deal. Our back 4 is sorted. You've got Romero. You've got Van der Ven. Behind them, you could make the argument you need one more, but you have Danzo for a back 3. You still got Ben Davies, but you got Kota Takai, although he's got this kind of long-term, ongoing, whatever it is, this nonsense with his, what do they call it, a chronic injury. So how long he's going to be out for, I don't know. But Tottenham are back, and it's being shepherded and chaperoned by this guy's chairman, and he needs to become your chairman. And you know what? On the Spurs 5 at 8 p.m. tonight, I will be talking to Mr. Lubo, and I will be talking to Mr. Tel, saying, do we get any love? Do we get any fair credit, fair crack, fair confidence that this guy, fasciitis, that's it, fasciitis or whatever it's called, well done. Savinho is going to be like Julian Alvarez was, the same. Savinho is going to be sensational, mate. I actually am more excited about Savinho than I am excited about Eberechi Eze. You know? Big up Levy, says Ben Kent. Love to see it. You know what? I'm going to change the poll. I'm going to see. There's 1,500 people here. Let's change the poll. Because we love a swing poll here, right? After the in the 3 days leading up to the Ange Postecoglou final, and then the 3-4 days afterwards, we were doing, are you Ange in or Ange out? And the swings were violent and volatile. So we're going to have to start it right now. Are you Levy in or out? In, out. There is no in between. You have to pick a side. And 63,000 people didn't choose the Levy outside. So there's the poll, guys. There's the poll. What are we getting to here? Ooh, it's jumping around. Oh, let's see. Let's get back to the chat so we can find out exactly what's going on. Here we go. TBR Football can confirm. That Bilal Al-Khanous wants to move to Crystal Palace despite mounting interest from we're doing it from elsewhere in England. No, it's good. It's very, very good news, guys. If he gets done as well, then we are back in the game. What's that? Chef Sarpreme has said, Bentancur, 140 a week bomber pending people. He's about to sign a new contract as well, is he? Easy. 140 grand a week for Bentancur. I don't rate him that much. Not voting on that poll until the window closes, says Rob. Stell out, says Ulrika. This Levy, yes. The previous Levy, no, says email. What's a brilliant name? MU Val randomized. What's her name? Chris Cowlin just said Savio to stay. Now he's just reporting what the other guy's saying. That's all. Romero's Bentancur buddy deal. Friends, contract friends. Yay, contract friends. I don't rate him that much either, says Hobbit Warlord. Cowlin believes Belag. Content's got a content, mate. You know, Chris puts out more videos a day than Bonnie Blue. Let's be entirely honest. Every time he puts out the 60-second update every 60 seconds. It's like a 24-hour news cycle. You've got, fair play. The man works hard. Content has to content. So, contract wangers, hey. 1,600 people here, guys. Love to see it. Do smash the like. Do smash the subscribe. Keep the grannies out of bay. and let's get into it. Levy as the new Spurs manager. Here we go. If Levy continues this trend of signing proper players and making football a bigger priority, it will swing the argument. Let's find out what the argument currently looks like, shall we? Let's have a look-see. At the moment, there's 400 votes, give or take, and it's 2/3 in. Lubo's going to be furious. Lubo's going to be absolutely furious. Sean, Perchy, you want to come on, bro? Perchy, get yourself on, pal. Your chairman, my chairman, our chairman. I'll do that handshake, my man. Drinking on a Spurs 5-day. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be. Well, I'm going to be shameless tonight. I'll be shameless. I'm going to stop drinking that. Well, I've only had. Well, this is my going out 2, so it's fine. But CFT have achieved so much already. Oh, Orica, it's going to be one of those, isn't it? They're going to put out a message somehow taking credit for it because that's what they do. Shamelessness, that's the shame, you know? Shamelessness needs to shameless. CFT RIP. As a City fan, I need you to get SAVINHO, says Nadir. Interesting. Interesting. There will be apoplectic. Do you know what it is? I will never understand the desires of people to embed themselves in an opinion where they ultimately get caught up in some like deep down narrative where they want to. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I had to go pee. I will never understand why people want to get themselves embedded in opinions and attach their own identities to these agendas that ultimately make you want to be rooting on some level for bad outcomes. I remember, I've got a lot of love for Brian Daigle, love him to pieces, but I remember Brian Daigle on Irish Hotspur like 3 Januaries ago. And the deadline day, and he was all about going to the protest the next day. And then it dropped on deadline day that we were signing Bentancur and Kulusevski at the same time. And we were celebrating. Jack, myself, Matt Hayes, and Irish Hotspur Dave were celebrating, and Brian was on the stream, and he couldn't hide his frustration. He couldn't hide it. He was unhappy. He was smiling through gritted teeth because he attached himself to the Levy out thing, and he thought that it was bad news for his movement. You know, I don't understand why people will get that attached to things that where you're torn in your own mind around what it is that you want. If you're a Tottenham fan, you should be super happy right now. But the change for Tottenham guys and people like Lubo and that, they're happy, but they're not as happy as other people are because they know that they've attached themselves to something where they're now, you know, you shouldn't ever be in a situation where good things mean you're in the mud. I think it's crazy. Piero Hincapi, mate, look, he's got a £55 million release fee. Got a £55 million release fee, and that is it's not. It's a. I think it's a good deal. I'd buy it. By the way, I'd pay that much money for him. But it is a. It's a situation whereby you're going to walk into you're going to walk into problems because you've got Liverpool probably in all likelihood that are going to compete for him if they can't get Gahey done, and even if they could, and certainly Chelsea will, I think so. Yeah, Daigle does give credit where it's due, 100%. I'm not having a crack at him. I'm just saying, just giving an example. I love Brian. I'm not having a crack. I'm just saying that that's an example. People that when good things happen, if they're attached to their agendas and things, then the protests are more important sometimes than good things. This doesn't put anyone in the mud. Scott M, anything positive puts you in the mud, mate. You're the most negative person I've ever met in my entire life. You are so unbelievably negative about everything that anything positive puts you in the mud, my man. Well, it puts you in the shade anyway. Puts you in the shade. Is this happening again? Is that another super sticker that I can't see? £2 from D12. Savinho was City's top assist last season. I don't know if I'm missing out on super chats. If that's just you, you're putting that in as a gimmick, as a game. I don't know. Smiling through gritted teeth sounds to me like your subjective opinion. It is my subjective opinion, of course. I can't get into his brain to verify, but he didn't look as happy as the rest of us. 100%. 100%. Again, not calling Brian out. Just observations. Lucas Paqueta, Bis going the other way. Now we're talking, Ricky Ward. Now we are talking. If Tottenham really have that sort of money, then why not? Let's go and change the game here. I told you, Daniel Levy, he might be a donut, but Vinay, he's a PR guy. He's a PR guy. He's my PR guy. And he said on his first visible demonstration of him in a Tottenham shirt, he came out and sat down on that video day one, and allowed Brian Daigle, he allowed Daniel Levy to sit there and say, the ambition is to win the league. They're not idiots. They're not going to say that stuff unless there was intent. And that's why the protesters went too early. You go for PSG Donnarumma. Now we're talking, Robert East. Now we are talking. Sean, do you like the new fruit cider at the ground? I didn't try it, Scotty. I didn't try it, mate. I was in premium, mate. I didn't get to sit up in the South Stand. Was it a good time? Because Scotty on the right, Scott sits like 7 seats away from me. Brian Daigle now running Spurs, Sean. Yeah. I think it would be a very different club if that was the case. Levy's an idiot, says the one and only. Not sure about that. £2 from Sean Hurl. Are these super stickers? I can't see them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm really sorry, guys. If I miss any super stickers or super chats, it's nothing to do with my intention. I'm seeing them come through in a really weird format. Let me get that one. Sean Hurl saying, Bentancur, my fave footballer from the Pampas. Interesting. Sean is chatting with his whole chest out. Well, look, I might be crowing the early bird, mate. I might be going the early crow, Illmatic, because nothing's done yet apart from Kuti, right? But if we get Kuti on a new deal, if we get Bentancur on a new deal, not that I really care that much about Roddy Bentancur, if you also get an Eze and the Savinho, and then when we turn our attentions to a centre-back, and it looks like Tottenham are sort of sniffing around the higher echelons of what's left in the centre-back world that could also play as a left-back, what else can you ask for? What else could you want? Could you see us going and getting a Paqueta as well? There's going to have to be an outgoing, right? To make space in this team, there would have to be outgoings. But Bissouma's going to have to go. Bissouma would absolutely have to go. And there's rumours out there that he's interested in going in a certain direction. Who else could leave? Who else can leave the club? Ben Davies? Could Ben Davies leave the club to make space? I mean, he's homegrown. I think he counts as homegrown for the Premier League, but not for Europe, I think. Try, I think, who else we could get rid of. Solomon and Brian Hill. There you go. Brian Hill. Savinho's definitely not off. I'll buy Vinay a £2,000 a night Babylon girl if he brings in Eze, Savinho and Hincapi. Reese, how do you know about Babylon girls, mate? Reese, you're giving the game away. Everyone knows a little bit about Viva Street, but not everyone knows about Babylon girls. What are we doing here, Reese? What are we doing? That's a little bit too nuanced, my man. That's a little bit too nuanced. You got sent an advert. Yeah. Okay, lad. Okay. You've been doing someone checking search. Someone checking search history. Ah, that's hilarious. The Babylon girls are lovely, though, apparently. Googling now, says Joe. Sensational stuff. Are we in or out? We on the in or out? Absolutely sensational. We've got a couple of people coming in to join us. I'm going to figure out how to get them in. There we go. James, how you doing, mate?
How you doing, mate?
Thomas, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. All good. And that is actually Frank Thomas's real name. He is not Thomas Frank's AI son.
Do you know what? I did a fan phoning show like maybe a month ago, and there was a guy that came on and he kept calling Thomas Frank Thomas.
Must be watching our streams, mate.
Must be, mate. Must be the regular. How are you, Frank? Nice to meet you, mate. You okay?
And you, mate. I'm all good. I'm all good. Yeah, it's something that I get certainly all the time now. I got it a bit when he was at Brentford, but I have had tweet after tweet after tweet asking me if I'm a burner account or, I've had the lot. So, yeah, it's something that doesn't stop at the moment.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Boys, what are you saying? What are we saying? I mean, I'm not sure where to start. Eze and Thomas Frank is pushing for Savinho. That looks like, I mean, some people are saying it's off. Other people are saying it's not off. I bet that guy, I mean, you'd be able to let me know if you think that Belay guy is anything he's worth listening to. Then we've got the Kuti bomber. We're about to get a Bentancur bomber. Then we're also maybe about to get the Eze bomber. Where do we start, James? I'll let you go, mate. What do you want to talk about first? Let's talk about Eze, shall we? How close are we, do you think?
Well, I'm not even going to stand here and say I'm in the know or anything like that, but I have heard it's pretty much done. But yeah, I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing, especially with the Romero news as well. I know you said stick to the Eze one, but that Romero news is absolutely huge. For me, that's like a new signing as well. Absolutely fantastic to get that over the line. No more rumours about Atletico Madrid. That's all done for another couple seasons, I think. 2029, fantastic. But yeah, Eze is just, that is going to change us from potentially finishing 8th, 9th to seriously challenging for top 6. I think a signing like that does an absolute wonders, not just for the quality of the team, but the whole morale of the club and everything around it, the fan base. Everyone's buzzing, right? I mean, I'm looking at your poll now, the Levy in out thing. I've never seen it so close in my life. I really haven't. So,
what's the poll?
It was about 64 in.
That's not close, mate. That's a massive shift. You asked everyone 2 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's never been more in than out on any stream I've been on personally. But yeah, it's definitely a shift.
I've cultivated a particular type of audience on this channel, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
a lot more balanced, a lot more reasonable, a lot more intelligent, let's be honest. Frank, mate, over to you, my man. What's the biggest deal of the day then? What's the biggest news, right? Would you say signing Kuti is more of an important piece of information right now than the prospect of potentially signing Eze, or is the prospect of not signing Savinho more of an important update of all three of them?
I think Romero is the biggest of the three. I think it's massive, and I think it shows this kind of hopeful ambition that we've all been wanting. There was obviously the rumours in the summer in June time that he was going to stay or whatever, and that Atletico wasn't a viable option this summer. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a big bit of news. It's a big bit of news. And I say, hopefully, it's after being given the captaincy as well. Hopefully, it's a drive for ambition that we've been wanting. Hopefully, he knows more than we do behind the scenes, and that ambition is there. In regards to Eze, I think it'll be massive if they get him over the line. Same with Savinho, of course. I think we've seen with Kudus already, even though he's obviously only played 2 competitive games. But when you sign a player when you pay big money for a player that is experienced and has Premier League experience at that, when you buy established players, they tend to be better. Certainly in the shorter term, and so that's really important. That's really important for us. So I'm certainly very pleased with Romero, but if they get Eze and Savinho over the line, that'll be massive for us.
Do you think, Frank, just staying with you for a second, do you think that, big up Lubo, nice to see you show your face, mate. Nice to see you show your face. You're about to get absolutely mudded, and I can't wait.
Brave. This is
brave,
so brave,
man.
Lubo. I don't think I've been on a stream with you, but I think you're going to be in the mud here. Honestly, I'll be honest.
Seriously, I'm not having Sean, not my chairman, okay? I'm warning you now.
Oh, the flip flops has begun. Frank, quickly get the sort of, well, not quickly, take your time. How did we convince Romero to sign? Is that I think what we try to infer things, right? We try to do some joined up thinking. Romero basically said 3 months ago, just before the final, that he wanted out. The story is now that he decided to stay 2 months ago in June. Was that because of Ange and the trophy? And then Ange leaving wasn't as big of a deal. It was apparently made out to be to Romero. But there has to be something else, right? He's called out the owner 2 or 3 times, inferred in different ways, and the club, right? The medical team, the obstacles that have existed that will always exist. Has Daniel Levy had a word and said, listen, things are going to change around here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it wasn't Levy that's had the word. I mean, it kind of, when the rumour broke at the time in June that he was going to stay, it kind of coincided at the same time with the rumours of investment and new ownership, new board, new stadium rights, all this sort of stuff. And it was that sort of time when I think it was the day after Kudus and Gibbs-White stories broke that all of a sudden Romero is going to stay, that it felt like this was a change of direction. Obviously, Peter Charrington came in March, April time. You got Vinay came in, obviously, this summer. So maybe there is a change of direction at the top. I imagine that's probably partly what convinced him. I imagine being back in the Champions League, obviously, is crucial to him. I think probably a mixture of he likes Thomas Frank. And as we say, we saw all these rumours that there were going to be revolts and things when Ange went. It's been the complete opposite. I think they're probably going to buy into Thomas Frank. I think they are buying into Thomas Frank. I think, Romero's quite clearly happy with him. And so, yeah, I think it's a mixture of things, but it wouldn't be the greatest surprise in the world if after the window's over, we start to hear these rumours again, I think, of investment.
Yeah. Jay, there's a lot of rumours already, right? The investment is there, whether it's the contract for the stadium naming rights that we don't know about, that there's been a hell of a lot of ITKs who don't know anything about anything at all, but pretend they will. They're saying it's Saudi Ramco. Some people are saying it's 500 million quid and it's all up front, in some ridiculous, who knows what's going to happen there. And other people are saying that actually it's coming from the the current owners. Apparently Vivian Lewis was sat next to Levy at the stadium a couple of days ago, James, which is a game I missed you again on, mate. I'd love to have met you for the first time. I feel like I know you like a brother, but have never actually shook your hand before. What are we saying,
mate? I get the picture. I get it. You're on the floor in the East Stand, mate. I wouldn't have seen you,
I was on the floor, mate. I was on the floor. I was absolutely smashed. What are we saying, mate? Is Cuti Romero signing a new contract a statement that he's been convinced that Tottenham are about to change their ways?
I think there must have been a conversation with the board, right? Like he clearly, I think he even said he wanted to be a captain one day. That's obviously a big part of this. Let's not forget that, being the club captain of such a big club in Tottenham Hotspur. We were even discussing once before, the move to Atletico, would he even be captain if he moved across? Surely not straight away. So I think that's the point. And I think definitely this investment factor, I think there's been a conversation with his team and Tottenham in the sense that, we're going to be serious, we're going to invest. And clearly through these couple of big bombers that have come out in the last few days and weeks, Eze, potentially SAVINHO, obviously that looks like it could be in the mud. But either way, the fact that we're showing intent, even getting a player like Eberechi Eze, and a player like Mohamed Kudus, by the way, who deserves all the plaudits he got on Saturday, who was absolutely immense. That kind of intent is what he wants. And I think he was cheesed off, when Ange went. We let's not forget the timing of that post that he sent out as soon as it was announced Thomas Frank was the new manager. Oh, goodbye, Ange, and we're thinking Romero's gone. But yeah, there's definitely been a conversation on both the investment front. And of course, him being club captain is absolutely huge. And you want your club captain to be cemented down as one of the players that is definitely not leaving this club. Any rumours in your club captain leaving, and even next summer, is going to be a problem. So we shouldn't see that now. And I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Do you imagine that he's broken the wage structure to make him sign as well?
I think they've definitely given him a little boost in his pay, surely. I mean, I don't know. What was he on before? 120? Was he on 110, 120?
120, yeah. I think it's one. He was one of the only 3 or 4 players that were over 100. So,
what do you reckon? A bit of a nosebleed from Levy, maybe 150 or something?
No, I think he's the new club's highest earner. And I think that means that I get that monkey off my back. I said it all year. I said it from January. I've been panicking for the best part of 8 months that this wasn't going to happen. And we now have potentially got a new club size. But then maybe he wanted to sign before Eze or just to make sure that he gets that kind of no. Listen, you can bring these guys in, but this guy, I'm number 1, right? I've won 5 out of 6 trophies that I've been a part of, or 4 out of 6 now. I don't know. I feel like there's a reason to think that I think Tottenham are changing their ways, and I think that Daniel Levy's played his cards absolutely. If he gets these 2-1s done, if he does,
do you think also though, Sean? Question back for you. Apologies to do that on your own show, but
Yeah,
like, do you think that with the investment clearly in the background going on, the fact that we are boosting, our wage structure, and that this might be the start of something new, that just completely concretes that news that there is investment coming in? It's almost like we're planning ahead kind of thing. Like if there are players reaching 170, 180, 200k a week rather than 5 players over 100k for the last 5 years, do you think that's serious stuff, isn't it?
100%. If you're going to bring in Eze, he's going to want to be near the top, right? He's going to be he's already on. People are saying he's on 100. He's not. He's on I won't speak out of turn, but I kind of more able to. He's with all his bonuses and things. He's on a lot higher than what that the wage cap, salary cap, or whatever it's called thing says he is, and with all all that stuff. So if he's coming to Tottenham, he's going to get a lift in his money at 27. It's his biggest contract. This is probably his penultimate contract of his career, arguably. So he'll be pushing for it. Savinho, I don't know what Savinho gets paid at City at the moment, but I'd be surprised if he was to come in as the club's highest earner. But if you do come in as the club's highest transfer record, there's an argument to say that you should be up there or thereabouts, right? And then on top of that, if you get Hincapie as well, Hincapie, just for if I'm not sure if we are going to get him, but if there was any suggestion we are, that geezer is one of the best left-sided, left-footed centre backs in the game. So there's an argument to say that he would also sort of qualify. So I think that people that were sort of just going the early crow and were saying that Tottenham, we've only got 4 players or whatever it is over 100 grand, well, that's subject to change, right? And I think that those things are going to change very quickly.
100%. How is Savinho on a 40k? It's about 7 people saying he's on 40k a week. There's no way. Surely not.
Interesting. That's why it's a Daniel Levy signing, isn't it?
Just give him a huge double in 80k, and that's fine.
Yeah. Is that what he's on? 40k a week? Gee whiz.
That's so low for a player of his caliber, by the way.
Yeah. Who do you think is who's gonna be more of an impact player on the on the first team? Frank, I'll come to you, mate. I don't know where Lubo's gone. I think he knows he was going to get mudded. He showed his face and he's disappeared off because he doesn't want to get the money he's about to get. But Frank, what's the? Do you think Kudus is going to be a better kind of value add over the course of the season, or Savinho, or an Eze? What do you think?
I mean, it's a hell of a conversation to have because there's 3 possibly superstars there, which Tottenham have for a long time not had players that get you off your seat. Obviously, Kane and Son were fantastic, but I'm talking, proper skillful players that excite you. And so I say that I think there was probably one time last season where I was genuinely excited watching Tottenham, and it was the second half of AZ Alkmaar with Micky Moore. I mean, as in watch the excitement of watching someone just be fearless, and you have that in all 3. I think if the other 2 get over the line, the one I'll be the most excited about of the 3 is actually Savinho.
Same.
I think he's got the highest ceiling of the 3. I think all 3 are great, by the way, but I think he has the highest ceiling of the 3. I think he excites me. I think he can score more goals than he did for City. Obviously, those numbers were a little bit low, but that's with more game time and with a coach that in Thomas Frank, who we've seen him do it with Vissa, with Ben Rama, he did it with Mbuemo. He gets wingers to score goals, and so I have no fear of that being a problem. That I think Savinho could be really, really exciting. But as I say, Kudus started really well the other day. I thought he was great against PSG as well. And Eze, I think you kind of know what you're going to get. You're going to get a player that is very capable in the Premier League, will be capable in the Champions League. He's obviously an unbelievable talent. But I think in terms of a ceiling and what I'm excited to see, I think Savinho has a really high ceiling.
Is that if Savinho, if that guy, what's his name, Guillermo Beleg, whatever, if that guy's right and he's early on it, where did
I've got to put you up on that one. Are you talking about Guillem Balaguer?
Balaguer, that's it. Balaguer, yeah.
You know, I watched Restiva de la Liga back in the day, Sky Sports.
No.
He's like a legend of Sky Sports, but he's kind of fallen off the cliff a bit. Like he's like basically a tier 7 journalist now.
Okay.
I don't know if
so should we be dismissing him then, or?
I don't know. I don't think it's as substantial as he may make out. I could still see Savinho happening, but I'm not sure.
My only worry with him is that I know that he's close to Pep and Pep's circle, I think. I'm pretty sure, because he was very close to Barcelona when Pep was at Barcelona. And so my worry is, as much as I think probably as a journalist, he doesn't have an idea, my slight worry is that he might have word on this. So I'm hoping it's not true. But yeah, I do worry that with these links to Pep.
And where would you go next then, Frank?
I saw we were linked to Hudson-Odoi the other day. That would be interesting. Not that he'd be my first choice.
What a drop down though, even though he's a quality player. But
yeah,
it's certainly Hudson-Odoi, like the fans are going to go Levy out straight away.
I mean, it's
always
certainly
choosing the
level.
cheap option.
The guy at Monaco looks quite exciting as well. Agliu, I can't say his name, but Magnus Agliuche, So he would be one that I'd certainly look for. But as I say, Savinho for me is the top one right now. Semenyo is another one. Obviously signed a new contract this summer, so I doubt that would happen now. Just looking at the comments, Antonio Nusa is another good option. But yeah, I think Savinho would be a level above probably a lot of those names.
James,
yes.
Where would you go if Savinho's off? Well, let me pose a thing to you. Could you see Tottenham doing something a little bit out of the ordinary and then getting Eze right now, and then letting him play in the 10 for now, and then moving him out to the left at some point in the future, but bringing in like a Paqueta or someone like him, someone like a Nico Paz, someone like a Danny Olmo. Those are the players that we've already been linked with, rather than starting the ball rolling. Like Hudson-Odoi is at Forest, right? So
that's what I was about to say.
There's no chance we're going to go back and deal with that donut again, are we? So, like, I would imagine that we might have a plan B. Hopefully, have a plan B lined up. But if not, would you be okay getting in a second 10 that can then shift Eze out there? Because I guess the other question is, like, if we're signing Savinho, who's 21, what does that mean for Tel and Udogie? They're already struggling to get minutes. How do you squeeze? Like, do you send one of them out on loan, or do you let them all kind of squabble it out and fight it out for minutes in the sort of smaller tournaments, smaller games, and then the one that sort of pokes their head above the parapet the most gets to play second fiddle to, a Savinho if we get him?
It's a great question. I mean, I'm still to this day not sure why we signed Tel on a permanent. I think his ceiling is pretty high, and I know that's probably going to cause people in the comments to go nuts, but I think we've got to give him a chance, right? He's only like 20 years old. And yeah, we've definitely got a problem on the left wing. Like Eze, if we get Eze, he can obviously play on the left. He was playing pretty much on the left yesterday in that game, and he absolutely skinned Reece James a couple of times, which was lovely to see. But yeah, well, where'd you get in Savinho, Udogie, and Tel? It's an interesting one. But to your first question, Sean, I would love to obviously get Eze down. I think that will happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then the attention goes to whether you get a Savinho or whether they have the smoke screen up for the Savinho one and they've got someone else in the background. Personally, I think if we get Eze and we don't get anyone else, I still think it's a pretty good window, if I'm being deadly honest. Especially with Romero signing, for another 2 years, and you could argue, do we need a backup left back? Can Spence play there for when Udogie isn't playing? But Spence looked comfortable there the other day. Of course, it's only against Burnley, but I think, if we get Eze in, that's everyone's dream signing. You ask, 10,000 Tottenham fans, 9,000 of them are going to say Eze is their top pick. So I think that unites the fan base. The feel-good factor's there. Whether we get anyone else, Sean, I'm not too sure. I haven't seen too many more names sprinkled about, but I'd be very happy still.
What do you think Tottenham would pivot to if something does happen there? Will they immediately pivot to someone else, whoever it might be? We can get the Weisscat up in a second and just dig through all the different left winger options out there. But would you imagine Tottenham pivoted then and went, okay, if we can't get that done, then the next most important thing, which is easier to do, maybe is to go after someone in the centre back / left back role, like I don't know, Nathan Collins has been linked. I mean, I don't mind Nathan Collins. He doesn't excite me, but he's a better player than the brand that that he's cultivated. But whether it's a Hincapie, whether it's a Castello Lucaba, whether it's a dream world scenario, doubt will ever happen. But like a Bastoni, like a left-footed, left-sided player that can do a little bit of what Van de Ven can do, play on the back of a back four, or can play into a back three. Would you see that Tottenham would pivot and go and get that done? Or would we go, we'll come back to that in the last week of the window. For now, we just got to get that left winger because Thomas Frank might not be that impressed with Tel and Udogie.
Yeah, good question. I think maybe it's not a priority, the left wing position, as we just discussed, and therefore if we I guess, do fumble Savinho, if you want to call it that, then perhaps they won't go for a backup. I think the Nathan Collins one's interesting. Obviously, Frank knows him very well. Then that would be a different type of defender. But I mean, I don't know. I personally think let's keep an eye on Visser as well, right? He's thrown his toys out the pram. Newcastle apparently very close, but Newcastle have fumbled about 10 signings this year. So hopefully it'll be 11, and then we could get a Visser as well. That would be an exciting one. How about that? Food for thought.
Frank, would you take Visser? Do you think or do you think the Richarlison's resurgence into the world of everyone suddenly Richarlison's best mate again? Is there like life in the old dog yet, so to speak?
I mean, I saw a little smirk from James there. I think he kind of knows where I could take this. I'm probably Richarlison's the least Richarlison fan you could probably find.
Frank, you're not. You're talking to him now. He's top left.
Credit where it's due, though. He's done well last two games. 100%.
Yeah, I thought he was very good against PSG in moments. I think certainly against Burnley, I think his movement in the box is pretty good. I think his finishing is actually pretty good. I think some of his movement and link-up play at times can be pretty good. But I think if you want to compete, given that Solanke has an injury record that you can't always rely on, I think you need someone that is more reliable than Richarlison. And so I would be more than happy if they got Visser in. Listen, I think Richarlison probably is going to stay for this season now. I was pretty convinced he'd go. I think he'll probably stay, and I'm all right with that. And if Thomas Frank feels that he can progress with him and make him better and keep him fit throughout the season, where he's not having to play games here and there and then off the back of an injury and then getting injured again. So listen, if he's got a plan for him, then I'm more than happy to support it. But yeah, I mean, Visser would be one that I would certainly look at. I mean, I was looking at Visser's numbers a minute ago and where it kind of compares to a Tel or an Odobert. That James said well that Tel and Odobert are young. They're 19, 20-year-old guys. That the likes of Mbappe and Lamine Yamal and these guys have really distorted the mind of a lot of people and when these guys should be at the top level and when these guys should be playing well. And at the end of the day, one's still a teenager and one's just past that. And so these guys can be coached and can be progressed within a system. And I have no doubt they both got massively high ceilings. I've got no doubt that both of those guys as well can be top players at Tottenham. I mean, you look at Visser when he was the same age as Tel, he was in the second or third division in France. And so, and I'm sure everyone would take Visser now. And it sounds like a silly comparison, but I think, you look at those two, they could certainly be top players. I think you've got a number of good options on the left, especially if Savinho comes in. The right, I think Johnson offers something that a lot of the others don't. I think Kudus is obviously top. You've got the 10s. I think you could do with another striker, though, certainly.
Yeah, but where do you go if it's not Visser, right? If it's not Visser, then I mean, if just throwing out some names, right? Apart from like the sort of younger end of the market, but still top quality, like an Openda, someone like him, right? Would be I think would be really good in the Premier League. Pace merchant, but he can certainly finish. Someone like maybe a Boniface, someone like that from Leverkusen, but Leverkusen have already been absolutely pillaged all summer already. And Tottenham are currently looking to get their centre back, which Erik ten Hag has said I'm not interested in selling anyway. But he does have a 55 million, I think, euro or 60 million euro release clause or something like that. But he might end up going to Chelsea. I can't imagine that Leverkusen can really afford to sell any more players. Outside of that, like you've got Dusan Vlahovic, right, who's an unknown quantity. You've got maybe you could go and get, like I say, Visser. Maybe Thomas Frank could turn back his attention and go and speak to the geezer Ivan Toney. Would you take him? Other than that, Ollie Watkins, he's probably not going to leave Villa, but he's older as well. He's 30 years old. I don't know where else, like in the Premier League, is there a player that's sort of realistic that you could go to get if you wanted to get a 9? Really?
I don't think there's many in the Premier League. There's definitely a few in Europe that would be tempted by a move to us, I think, right now.
Samuel Agahawa maybe from Porto. He's a good player.
Yeah, that Samu guy, he's class and he's very young as well. Meka Twedze is one we've done reviews on that is unbelievable value for money. I mean, I think you could probably pick him up for 30 to 40 million. And he's very, very good, versatile. Good numbers, very good numbers, assists and goals. Like if you look at them, they're insane for what he does. He's very underappreciated.
Yeah.
Vlahovic is a bit of a risk, I think. It depends what value you could get him for and whether Juventus doesn't look like they're going to be using him much. So think there's a few up there. I've already seen Micky in the comments a few times. Moise Keane's a mad suggestion. I mean, he's one of those ones that's been very good in other leagues. You know, he smashed it for, I think it was Fiorentina last season, scored an insane amount of goals, but for Everton, he's got about a handful. So I don't know. It's always a risk.
It's the same with like the Ademola Lookman like sort of the conundrum, right? Like, how much have they improved since they left the Premier League? Because the versions of them that you're seeing in Italy are miles ahead of where they were in the Premier League. But the Premier League is a ridiculously different pace, ridiculously different fast game and strong game. And so there's absolutely a risk there. The other one, I think, is Voltemade, right? He's still at Stuttgart. He's turned down the Bayern Munich move. And maybe they just don't want to sell him to Bayern Munich because they don't want to keep him in the same competition. And Stuttgart have got ambitions for the year. I'd wet myself if we got Nick Voltemade. I think that guy is an absolute baller in the future. I really do. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, he's one that I really like the look of. I tried to sort of follow the under, was it 21s or 20? That's really bad.
Under 21, yeah.
21s, yeah. This summer, as much as I could, and yeah, I mean, he was one that scored quite a few goals. He's certainly obviously come on in the last year in Germany as well. I think it kind of comes down to what you want. Do you want someone that is like Solanke and is, you know, a good hold-up player, can hold defenders off and sort of good in the air, or do you want someone that's sort of the polar opposite? And I mean, there's a real, I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Jack Pitt-Brook. I was listening to something recently, and he made a really good point. And that there's so many strikers now are actually, to be a successful striker, you almost have to be this big kind of lump. Certainly in the Premier League, you know, now if you look through, you've got Solanke, Richarlison's quite big, you've got Haaland, you've got Gyökeres. You go through, there's loads now. And I think that's because defenders are now so big and so physical, and the fitness levels are so high that to be this nippy little striker, it doesn't really work anymore. So I think Voltemade would be a really good buy from Tottenham, actually, and one that I would certainly really be excited about.
James Flower, welcome to the show, man. Saw you yesterday, and you were you were in a different ambiance. You were in. How was your flight back from Egypt? Was it nice?
Absolutely dreadful. I will never go back because of the airport.
The trouble, was it?
Oh, mate, yeah. To be fair, it was quite entertaining. Two birds in a queue headbutting each other and stuff. That was quite fun. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Everyone with their camera, I'm like, no, I want to watch this. Move your camera out of my way, like.
Yeah. Mate, what are you saying? What are you saying, mate? Are you happy days? Happy James? What are we saying?
Absolutely, yeah. That's all we've been asking for, isn't it? It is the players to be in and signed. That's exactly all we've been asking for. If obviously the Savio, my obviously opinion on what you guys were saying about Savio, if we can't get him, I would like to shift Eze out onto the left, and I would get Paqueta and Ivan Toney. That's where I would go.
You go and get Ivan Toney.
The thing is with Paqueta is that are we really gonna? I like the player. I think he's great, but are we really gonna get a second player from West Ham? I don't think so. Not this summer anyway.
I want him just for that.
Yeah, it would be unbelievable. Or flags out.
I think if Savio falls through, I would like to move Eze to the left. I would buy Paqueta and Ivan Toney. I think that with people like Eze, Savio, Kudos, I mean, we saw the weekend, didn't we? And from pre-season, he's going to create chances in the box. So somebody like an Ivan Toney for me, that doesn't have to be the fancy Dan, but when it comes to putting the ball in the box, he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, James, I love your background that you got flower and you got flowers in the background. Like, it's absolutely perfect today.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try my best, boys. But what would you say? Would you go with the Tony, or do you think it's past it?
Confirm.
I actually don't know. I think he's a little bit too similar to Solanke. Is my kind of fear. I think you need ones that can play off each other, that you could play them together, or ones that give you a different option. Like so often you've had, I look back to Crouch and Defoe or something like that. You know, I'm not saying you want one who's 5'5" next to him or whatever, but I think you need ones that have different strengths, like where you kind of have Kudus and Johnson on that right-hand side. You look at their numbers and things, and they are literally polar opposites. That I do think that does benefit you, because if certain things aren't working in certain games, then you switch it up. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of the second striker this season, who I think is probably going to be Richarlison now. I was less convinced about a month ago. I think, having seen the start he's had to the season and the PSG game and some of the friendlies, I imagine he'll probably be here, whether I like it or not. And so that's we're going to have to get used to that. And I think if he stays fit and he's an asset, then he's an asset to Tottenham, I think, if he stays fit. But the moment you start any conversation with if he stays fit, there's a problem, I think.
Well, for me, again, with what you're saying, people are saying how good he is and how quality striker he is. The best ability is availability. You could be Lionel Messi, but if you're only fit for 5 games a season, you're worthless.
Agreed. I mean, I said it on one of ours recently that I went looking. I think he's played, since he joined Tottenham, he's played 29% of Premier League minutes. And, you know, I imagine maybe if we hadn't had Kane in that period, it might have been a little bit higher. But that's a ridiculously low number. You know, that's not someone that, and Thomas Frank wants, as you say, reliability. He wants players that he can fall back on if certain things aren't working, because he's versatile and he changes these systems. And so maybe this season, fine. Long term, and I think they'll look to replace Richarlison, but with someone that is, 1, there, and 2, can probably offer more in game. I know he scored twice the other day, but in general.
I know you said about you think Tony is a similar player to Solanke, but obviously Tony's finishing is, in my opinion, levels and levels above Solanke. So is it not necessarily kind of similar but upgrading? Is it not like Solanke could be the perfect guy if he could finish, or if he could create chances for himself? And that, for me, is what Ivan Toney does. Ivan Toney's the kind of player to get the ball to his foot and he will make a chance for himself. Whereas I don't know, I think I've seen Solanke do it once. I think it was Man United, wasn't it, at the edge of the box where he beat him twice and then put it in a corner. I don't think I've seen him do it since. And Richie, I see loads of screamers and lovely finishes, but I don't know how many times he creates a goal for himself.
I mean, the thing I'm a little bit sceptical of about, certainly commenting on Solanke, and Maddison's another one. Obviously, Van der Ven looks incredible. Van der Ven, Udogie, some of these guys that have only actually played under Ange, because tactically at times we were chaotic and a bit of a mess. I'm a little bit sceptical about, you know, I think given what we saw Tony do under Thomas Frank, I think Solanke's a top player. I think we saw glimpses of Solanke being a top player at times last year. I mean, some of his running and things. And as you say, that United game, I think he scored twice that night and in the Cup. And there's been times I've seen him and he looks brilliant. I think, again, if he stays fit, this is important. But if he does stay fit, I think he will be. I don't see a world where he won't be of that similar sort of level to what Tony was when he left the Premier League, I think.
Wait. Richarlison hasn't always had. Is Richarlison here?
No,
Solanke.
Solanke.
Oh, Solanke.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
I was never talking that light about
No, I was
Richarlison.
going to say, as soon as about Richarlison, I was like, wait a minute, I'm sure you just said you were the biggest Richarlison hater on the panel.
Don't worry,
I was like, that's Let me ask you guys this, though. Would you take someone, well, people keep talking about Rafael Leao, right, as an alternative? That's going to take more money than Savio would.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
going to cost more than 70 million euros. No, or plus of that. No, personally. I think he's more of a player for me that is going to throw his toys out of the pram completely. He's a guy that's going to say, look, we want you. You go, right, yeah, okay, I'm done here. And Andy's noticing and say, I'm not playing again. Whereas I think that I can't imagine Savio doing that.
I think Savio's using us for a bigger move in 2 years' time. You know? I think he'll come to Tottenham because he wants his minutes so he can get into the Brazil team. If he does well, like, you better expect that in a year's time or in 18 months' time after the World Cup or whatever, he'd say, if Real Madrid come in for me or anyone else that's bigger than Tottenham, I'm back out again. Which is why I think that you have to play a little bit of the kind of the opportunity cost sort of joined up thinking, right? At some point, if it costs £70 million, at some point, if Savio does well enough to then want his next move, there has to be something left for the next guy, right? So you can't pay too much because Savio won't be able, like Daniel Levy's not going to sign the guy for 70 million, pay him 150 grand a week or whatever it's going to cost. And then in 18 months time, following a good season and a good World Cup, him saying, I want to go, sort of like what happened with Romero. And then someone saying, okay, we'll pay the money that makes Daniel Levy's transfer worth it, which is going to require 100 million quid plus deal, right? Which puts you in the top 3 or 4 wingers in the world sort of market. And we don't know whether Savio is going to do that. But then if you don't get that fee, then you're left with an unhappy player on your hands. And it worked out for us with Harry Kane. Let's not forget, Harry Kane didn't turn up to training after all of those shenanigans that happened. He was late back to the season. He ended up getting over it, playing his last 12 months and still putting in a shift. But that doesn't happen with every single player. Some players when they put their feet up and put their tools down because they're pissed off. And so that's where I think that you have to at some point go, okay, it's too much. Because I think that Savio's not going to have any loyalty to Tottenham. He's going to see this as a springboard for something bigger in the future, and it won't be in the long distance future.
But isn't that part of partly down to Levy? As in, if he's on fire and you've got Kudus and Eze both in the same squad, you're going to be looking at top 4 pushing in on anyway. So then isn't it down to Levy to go, okay, well, this is where we are now. We're going to buy an Omar to play number 8 or whoever he's got in sort of store. Isn't it down to him to go, right, we're going to go get a world-class midfielder to help out or a striker next season? I think that as long as you've got these kind of players like a Romero, I think what Romero did, he got a lot of criticism, but I'll make him right. If you want me to stay here, you've got to start backing the team and pushing on. But otherwise, I'm not going to be here. I'm too good to be here. He's too good for 17th. So I think Savio, Kudus, Eze, they're all going to be doing the same thing. You can't get in that caliber of player and then go, right, we're done here now. We're going to settle for top 8 or whatever it is. You have to kind of, once you get on that train, you've got to keep going with that train. You can't go, jump on, now we'll get off here. We've done enough. We'll get back on, actually. This is a top 4 team. No, we'll jump off because this team can get us top 4 every season. That, for me, is what Daniel Levy's always done. And this season, it seems like he's going, I'm going to push the boat out. And to be fair, I said it as well, under Ange, I think he did the same thing. I think he backed Ange. But I think that's the first time in a long time where he's done this. So if you're going to sign these kind of players, you can't pick and choose and go, right, we're acting like a big club today, tomorrow we're not going to bother, then the next season we're going to act like a big club again.
So are you currently Levy in or Levy out, though?
I said to you last time, I'm on the fence. The only thing I've wanted is I've wanted him for 3 or 4 seasons to back the manager. I think he backed Ange. Personally, I thought he gave him 5 or 6 players that he wanted. I know a lot of people say, but what about the wage cap? I don't care. If he wants Brennan Johnson, and Brennan Johnson only costs 80k a week or whatever it is, I'm not going to hold Levy to ransom for not paying him 200k a week. Do you know what I mean? He is what he is. He got Johnson, he got Solanke, he got Van der Ven, he got all these players, whereas that's all I've asked for. So if he does the same thing for Frank, how can I want somebody out that's doing what I'm asking him to do? You can't. But there's a lot to continue with that. It's not a one transfer window. I gave everybody what they want. And that's it. It's continuous.
Yeah. How about you, James? Frank? Yeah. Are you feeling in the same vibe right now? I don't actually know what your stances are on my chairman. And be careful what you say.
Go on, James. I'll let you go first.
No, you go, Frank, because I know what your opinion is.
I am certainly closer to wanting him gone than I am wanting him there. I'm very much of the opinion that I don't mind him being there running a business if he has zero control of the footballing side longer term. That's okay, because I think, as I say, from a business point of view, and that's not something that maybe us as fans should think about, but from a business point of view, he does run it well, and so I have they run parts of it very well. I mean, the fact they don't sell any players is a problem, and then we get into cash flow problems and a lot of things like that. But the majority of the business is run pretty well. But I think that's kind of the point that was well made, in that it's kind of in Levy's hands, or whoever's in charge's hands, to if SAVINHO comes in and he's brilliant enough that Madrid want him in 2 years' time, then you'd like to hope that Tottenham are kind of in a good position as well. Not it doesn't obviously always work like that, but if he's at a point where he's getting 30 contributions a season or 40 contributions a season, whatever, and Madrid want him and he's a superstar, you'd like to have Tottenham in that top 3 or top 4, whatever, or competing to win things. And so then you look at it and go, well, do I want to move on? If Tottenham are at a top team, then hopefully he sits there and goes, I want to be a part of this. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm probably closer, as I say, to wanting him to go, but I'm not totally against the idea of him staying. But as the point was made, that it has to be a continuous progression, though, because as I say, the rumours are fantastic, and I think Eze will probably be on his way. But as of right now, they have got one new player which they've paid a lump sum for. See, Paulinho's coming on loan, Kudus is coming, Tel was already there, and Takai probably isn't really going to be a part of it for a while, it seems. But
the Paulinho deal, though, Frank, is... I don't like the way that people talk about it like it's the wrong way of doing it. Like,
yeah, no, of course.
The Paulinho deal was right to be a loan.
Agreed, massively. And I was a lot happier about the deal, actually, once it was done on loan, as opposed to the rumours of them, they wanted to pay 30 million, actually. I just think, given that, listen, I don't think that team was a team that warranted finishing 17th in terms of the squad talent they have. I think we all can see that. That's a team that can compete to be in the top maybe 7, 8 in the Premier League. But they've brought in 2 new faces, and it's the simple kind of fact that are going to compete. And the season has started, so I'm hoping that the Eze and Savinho and Hincapie and all these rumours aren't just PR stunts. I guess when the window slams shut in 12, 13, 14 days, whatever it is, we will have a better idea. I'm hoping they get done, but yeah, for now, I'm probably closer to thinking he should go. But I'm, again, a little bit on the fence.
How about you, James? James, Spurs related, James?
Very similar to Frank. I won't just completely regurgitate what he said. But yeah, I feel very similar. And we all know Levy, how good he is at the commercial stuff. But I think, yeah, I want to judge this window, right, to see if there has been some significant changes. And that is all in relation to this investment stuff. Like, if we're actually going to be getting Eze and Savinho, that's a big investment, right? 100-something million that will be. That shows intent. We haven't really shown that intent for, in my opinion, properly for many years. That caliber of player, that many top players in one window. I can't remember the last time.
I don't think we have. Oh,
maybe we
I
thought.
don't think I ever have in my lifetime.
Sorry, say again, James.
I don't think we. From my from my knowledge, I can't remember him ever doing that in my lifetime. I don't even think it happened.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the biggest window where we invested was probably in the last 10, 15 years was when in terms of relative to the time was when Gareth Bale left, and we signed about 7 players, 5 of which were absolute horse crap, and 2 were obviously, well, one was Lamela who had an okay career, but nothing insane, right? And then who was the other one? Dembele, wasn't it? So
Ericsson.
Say again.
Ericsson,
that's right. So yeah, that's when we showed intent, but that was because we sold a player. You know, this would be investing, and clearly the money's come from somewhere where it's external. You'd imagine, and I think we'll hear more news on that in the next few weeks for sure, because I guess it's gone a little bit quiet, but there's certainly something happening behind the scenes, and it feels big. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to be 1st of September talking about Eze's joined, talking about Savinho or another caliber of players joined. Then you can step back and you can say, look, that's an 8 out of 10 window, at least. At the moment, with no signings, no extra signings, it's a 5, isn't it? In my opinion, it's not enough. So that's the difference maker in my decision, really. I say decision, but my view, if you like, Sean. But one thing I wanted to also say is about Rafa Leão. Even if he costs 70 million or whatever, you got to remember his wages. He's going to be very, very expensive.
That's okay with me. I don't mind the new club's highest earner coming in. So it gets that monkey off my back.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Listen, I've got to bring this up in a second, but for the 3rd time today, guys, it's time for some ITK information.
Yeah! Come on, yeah! Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, is my source.
We've got some new information. This is actually from the source himself. I don't know. You guys know this stuff better than I do. I don't know if this guy is is worth listening to. But so Jay, he said, yeah, he's flown his agents into England from Brazil, which I think we all know about that. And Spurs are happy to send a record fee bid in for him. This is either City trying to get this bid in or it's complete BS. Wait for someone reliable. And if City have pulled the deal, it ain't on Levy. This is the guy who's head of C4T. Maybe he's realised the wind has changed direction. And then you've got him saying, the source is saying, so if we bid City's asking price of £66 million, he's ours. On top of that, just super quick, there is also something here from another guy. Where is it? Spurs. What's the guy's name? That must be in a response to someone else's. What's the guy's name? Spurs Journo, who's saying, so basically, anyway, Spurs Journo said basically, if we put in a record bid, then he's ours, which I don't know, guys. Do you guys know, is Spurs Journo reliable? Is the source reliable? Anyone know any?
From the Spurs Journo is all right, I think. There's a few, obviously, we've seen Himothy, I think it's not bad. A few of them are all right. The source is, from my personal experience, dreadful. I think it was 2018, 2019, when we were linked to Milan Skriniar quite often. And so I would have been 12 or 13 or something, and obviously quite excited by anyone coming into Tottenham and whatever. And I got very caught up on, he was a top centre half for Inter Milan at the time, very caught up on these rumours that he was coming to Tottenham, just for him to, I think, about 5 p.m. on deadline day, say that he'd forgotten his passport and the deal was off. And I think that's probably the lowest moment I've had on Tottenham's Twitter. So yeah, I wouldn't sort of believe what he has to say. There's some of them that are actually seem to be pretty good, whether they know a lot or not, or they get lucky. If you throw enough at the wall, some will stick, I guess. But
100%.
But yeah.
See, I've never thrown anything at the wall ever until I went to the Luton game, and then to two separate people. That one of them is like the head honcho in the Spurs tunnel club, and the other one apparently was introduced to me as head of security or something. And they both didn't know each other. They both randomly said to me that Gibbs White was 100% done, and I was like, "What, 100% done?" And they went 100. I was like, "What? You're not even leaving any room?" They went, "Not 100% done," and I was like, all right, well, content's got a content. So I put it out, and within 30 minutes of me publishing, I pressed the upload, put a tweet out, fell asleep 5 minutes later, woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to about 800 messages of me being absolutely mudded. So, I learned my lesson. It's just not worth it. You're never like given the credit when you even if you do get it right, but if you get it wrong, they're coming for you. They're coming for you.
Have you spoken to those two since? Because I've heard you mention that a few times. Have you spoken to them?
Yeah. They both apologized and just said, look, that was the truth at the time. But 5 hours is a long time in football or whatever. It caught everybody by surprise. It caught everybody at Tottenham. But they didn't know until the news broke that the contract was done. And then apparently he phoned up Thomas Frank and apologized. But anyway, either way, I'm never going to do that again. Never going to do it ever again. It's not worth it, I'd rather just mock people that are in the mud rather than be in the mud myself. It's much easier.
I was just going to say, with the SAVINHO one, I was pretty sure that it was resting on whether City got Rodrigo, right? Because they're trying to get Rodrigo from Real Madrid, and that's gone a little bit quiet, which is potentially linked to why SAVINHO, our side's gone quiet. So I think there's definitely that. Yeah.
I mean, do we think that this is one of the things I was talking about the other day? I feel like there's a domino kind of like if this, then that thing happening, right? Even with Eze as well. If Eze had not prioritized El Canouse, or the guy Solis from Bruges, which apparently they've advanced on, but had they prioritized, let's say, for example, they prioritized Harvey Elliott as their replacement, even though Elliott's a slightly different player but can obviously bounce around the front line, then Harvey Elliott might not have been able to be leaving Liverpool until Liverpool get a left winger as a replacement, who their first choice might have been Rodrigo. Arsenal's was Rodrigo, and City's was Rodrigo. And so in us trying to get the Savio deal done, it might have ended up meaning that Man City go and trigger Rodrigo, which then meant that Arsenal don't get Rodrigo, so they go and get Eze. And even if that doesn't happen, it means that Liverpool don't get Rodrigo, so therefore Palace don't get Harvey Elliott, therefore no one gets Eze anyway. So like, there's all of this kind of like, weird, I don't know how you call it, like it's almost incestual kind of relationships around for you to get one, someone else has to get the other, and when everyone's scrambling over the same few players, it's not easy,
Or you could just do what Vis has done and just delete all your Brentford photos, put your profile picture to just a blank profile picture, and throw your toys out of the pram and say you're never playing for Brentford again. Essentially,
I have a question. I saw that Eze's done the same thing.
He's removed his Crystal Palace stuff.
Yeah, that's what I got told. Don't know if it's true, but apparently he's taken all these photos off of Insta and stuff of the Palace.
I didn't know about photos. I saw that he removed them from all his bio and stuff on everything.
Oh, okay. Maybe
So I
that's
don't know
where
about
I'm going.
photos. Can I just pull up very quickly? There's a comment there that made me smile. That
What
someone
time?
said that they were in the know on Leandro Damião, which is a sensational comment.
Alan M. Big up to you, Alan, mate.
That's
Always live with a humour. Is it still on? Is Damião still on? We'd love to see it.
I'll take him over Richie.
Oh, we're in the Richie hater club here. James, were you part of the Richie hater club, James?
I've got a shirt with his name on. What are you talking about?
No, I know. Sorry, I know how you feel, James Flower. James,
Oh,
are you also are you a Richie outer or are you a Richie inner?
right? I'll be honest. You
Sounds like a
may
fucking
on
belly
our
button,
channel
isn't it?
find me have said I think he should potentially go, but I'm not as much of a hater as you two, Frank and Sean. Do you know what? When he has his purple patches, let's be honest, we're all going around our kitchen doing the proo. Like it is exciting, but it's not consistent enough, is it? So I think we keep him now. He's a purple patch player. If he can get us 10 goals before Christmas, I mean that's probably steep actually. 7 or 8 goals before Christmas, happy days, right? Why not? We need someone to challenge Solanke, and unless we're getting someone else in, who's doing that? So we need him just for competition, really. And at the moment, he's keeping Solanke out of the team. So I think you got to keep him.
As much as I kind of downplay Richarlison, I know this is going to sound a bit. I think he's better than Solanke.
Oh, that's
God! You have absolutely no love. You are coding no love for our forward line. Is that what we're doing here?
I just think. I mean, you can only judge from what you see. That's how I try to base everything in my life. I'll only judge it by what I see. I've seen Richarlison have purple patches. I've seen Solanke have one good season and run around like a headless chicken all the time. So I think until he could prove that, I have to say that I think Richarlison offers more and could do more.
All right, so let's get. I want to show you guys this. Right, so this is the Y Scout. Okay, that's not the.
Why are you getting up, Sean? I just to say, Eze hasn't deleted his Palace photos, but he might have changed his bio. But I wouldn't personally read into that. Whereas the example I gave with Vissa, I'm just double checking. Yeah, he's got a completely blank black profile picture. He's taken out any association with Brentford, and he has actually deleted all his Brentford photos.
Wow.
Like the last football related post he's done is him playing for the national team, and then all the ones under that are like throwback to when he was playing in League 1 or League 2 or whatever it was.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Can someone explain to me why it is that these players do that? Why, when you finish playing for one, do you delete all of the things that are your memories of those particular games? Why can't you just?
That's what I mean, though. It's a statement. He's literally lost his head with Brentford because they're trying not to let him go, and so he's throwing his toys out of the pram. He's like, I don't want to be associated with you. It's not even like end of the chapter. This is like trying to force a move on social media. It's absolutely nuts. Probably his agents told him to do it or something. I have no idea.
Well, I think that's got to be the last straw, isn't it? That is the only thing. If nothing's worked, the only other thing that's going to work is get rid of all the fans' faith. As soon as the fans turn, it's very, very hard. And this is what I was going to say. Even with Richarlison or Solanke or someone like that, I mean, we saw it a little bit with Johnson. Football fans are so fickle. If Richarlison goes on for a 10-game goal-scoring record now, or Solanke does, everyone's going to be screaming from the hill. So it's very fickle. That's why I don't really like. I mean, that what Wissa's done there. I mean, I'd love him because I think he's a quality player. But there is a part of me that thinks, mate, you can't, like, you're not exactly like a reliable guy. I don't know if I want you around my club.
I kind of do agree. I do agree. Yeah, I think I didn't expect that from Visser as well. I thought he was quite a nice guy, but anyway, I think we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Do you think he goes to Newcastle?
I think it's got to happen now. He's got to go somewhere. I've heard Newcastle's really close, isn't it, as per Fabrizio Romano? But I don't know. I don't know what happens really.
Do you think
They've
that,
got to
like,
get one over the line.
with him? Yeah, they've been cop blocked the entire summer, haven't they? Everything they've gone for. In fact, it's about time I pulled out a video.
Just when you thought your squad was getting proper, that player won't leave. They call that cock blocker.
That video, that's unbelievable.
How did I find those videos? I know. You should see my search history at times.
No, I don't think we should. Yeah,
No.
I'm past.
I want to ask you about, and we'll come back to Tottenham in a second, but just Alex Isak's doing the same thing, right? Like he's not training. He's basically said, like, fuck you, I'm out. Like, does it bode well? Like, if you're Liverpool, do you not look at that and think, he did that to Newcastle, he'll do that to us in a couple of years if Real Madrid come in? Like, I just don't think it bodes well for your reputation if you're known as someone that signs a contract and then won't honour it in any way. When he said, I'm never playing for you ever again, whether you sell me or otherwise, I'm never playing. I really hope that the Saudi Arabian owners just go, fuck him. Let him rot for the next 3 years of his life, you know?
They don't need money, so why don't Levy just put a £50 million bid in, and they could accept our 50 mil and turn down the 100 mil or something.
Yeah, 100%.
I think a lot of that is player power, though. I think player power is greater than ever. Like, the players, it feels like they're sometimes more powerful than the clubs. Like, they get the final say at the end of the day. They'll push to get their move. They'll do everything they can, and they essentially the image of a player is kind of damaged in the spotlight because they're just like this Visser thing. I don't want to completely just go off about Visser, but I'm surprised. I don't know if anyone else is. I think you see Visser as quite a nice guy, and he's just, I'm going to do what I can to get this move done. And he'll probably get his way, right? He'll probably get his way because Brentford won't want a player that's literally not wanting to put on the shirt. You can't have that situation. So at the end of the day, the player wins.
Yeah, 100%. Lads, what's the likelihood that that we get both of them done? In fact, let's let me pause that conversation. Let's assume that we get Savinho done and Eze done. How far away are we from getting the first bomber with regards one of them? And then after both of them get done, how likely is it that we get a third signing? And in what position, and how big of a player will that player be? How big of a name? Will it be a left back? Will it be someone like an Anthony Robinson? Could it be him? Could it be a centre back that can do a little like a Hincapie? But if not a Hincapie, someone else. Hincapie will be very sought after. Could you see Tottenham going, fuck it, we'll get a third, we'll move Jed Spence over to the right back side. To the left back side, and we'll go and get a third centre back that can play in the back three and also play as a right back. Someone like a Gerstruida, for example, that can also play in the six if necessary from Leipzig. Like, where do you see us going after Savio and Eze, or are we done after those two? Do you think?
I think I think it depends. I think Savio and Eze. I think Eze is very close, just from everything that you kind of read, and my hunch is that Eze is probably very close, and we'll find out about that in the next probably 24 hours or so. Because I think if I read one more report saying that we are in advanced talks or something, I might hit my head against the wall because it's becoming painful now. Because every journalist is trying to sort of one up the other one by writing kind of the same thing. But I do feel like it's probably getting to a point where it is probably quite close, and so I imagine that will come soon. Savinho, I'm hoping is closer than maybe we think. They've had two bids, I think, rejected Tottenham now.
3, I think, isn't it? Was it 2 or 3? 2, maybe.
I think it's 2 now. I think they're hopefully going for the third. And I think if they get those done, it will be a very good window. I would like still either a fullback. It depends what they want to do with Spence in terms of which side they want to predominantly use him. I imagine they will probably use him. I mean, he looks very good on the left. I think it's more likely though they will look to sign a left-sided centre half that can play as a left back as well, a Hincapie type. My guess would be they find one through Paratici or something through Italy, a sort of a young one coming through that can do that and play that role. That would be my guess if they get another for 20 million quid or something, and they'll get those three.
I think that one at the end, Frank, I think that's more likely to be a January buy, because I think obviously Ben Davies being in his last year, that is that left centre back. So we need another veteran that's going to stay with us for 11 years. That's just going to be asked to be out the door every other year, and every other year other than that, he's like, Ben Davies, he's unbelievable. So we need another player. We need a Ben Davies regen. But I think, Ben Davies would probably be in the mix this year as that backup left centre back hybrid.
How about you, James? James Flower?
Yeah, I mean, I think Eze's pretty much done. To be, I think I'm the ITK at this point. I'm going to say it's done. I reckon behind the scenes, it is the fact that Fabrizio Romano was at the Chelsea game. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
not Fabrizio Romano. Sorry, Paratici was actually at the Chelsea game.
I was about to say, what's he shouting? "Here we go" from the stands.
The fact that he was there in with all like the owners. He ain't going to be there for no reason. So for me, that's kind of a done deal. And Savio, look, at the end of the day, you're talking big money. If you're prepared to put 60, 70 million down for Savio, you're not going to have a problem to finding another alternative. I've said it before a few times. I'd love Adeyemi, to be honest. A guy that could play left, right, through the middle if need be, up front. I really like Adeyemi, so if we can't get him, I would move on to him.
I like Adeyemi as well. I think he's quality. Really, really, very, very good player.
I think he's one of the few players that is actually lightning quick, but good with the ball at the same time. A lot of the times you'll get your so-called absolutely rapid wingers, and all they can do is cross the ball, whereas he's got some mad technique when it comes to finishing, crossing, passing. He's got a bit of flair. So for me personally, that's where I would like to go.
Oh, fair enough. We'll come back and have a look at the fullbacks in a second. I just want to show you some of this stuff. I don't know why it's so zoomed in on my screen. So this is the list. So I've just filtered by everybody in world football that plays left wing, right wing, or in the forward line. We can dial up some filters. Do you want to dial up some filters, or should we just go broad and just go through the sort of top 100 players and see which ones we can turn to next if Savio wasn't going to be there? What are we saying?
I'd put. It looks like that we're obviously looking for flair players, dribblers, isn't it? Savio's a dribbler, Kudus is a dribbler. So, is there anything along that lines we can sort of tick off?
There's loads. So we can let's go for, I don't know. Let's look for
Jules one,
offensive duels per 90, offensive percentages, successful attacking actions. Let's have a little bit of goals. Let's have a little bit of. Let's have a little bit. Let's do some XG as well. Let's do a little bit of
shots per 90. Is that?
Yeah.
Is there a filter for long throwing?
There might be. Hang on. We've got shots on target percentage, shots per 90. We're doing there key passing, accurate passes into the final third, and assists per 90, whatever is probably easier. We can start there. We'll start there. We're gonna dial out most of the players that are cheap. There'll be thousands of them. Let's go to at least, I don't know, at least 10 million, something like that. Is that fair? No, let's go a bit higher than that. At least 15 million. 192 players in the game that are more than 15 million that play in the. You can see it on my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so touches in the box per 90. Let's dial it up to 1 point. I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. 1.55. I don't know. We'll just dial up a little bit. Offensive duels. We'll put that. We can dial them back up and down again. Offensive duels 44%. Who are we left with? Brennan Johnson. He's still there. Oh, this guy. Let's talk about him for a second. He's apparently on our radar, isn't he? Takefusa Kubo. What does everyone think about him? Are we madness being linked with another right winger? Do we have enough right wingers?
Yeah. I said about him before, kudos. We don't need him now.
I don't think we need him now either. To be honest.
I think
He's
we're
a very
fine
good
on
player.
the right. I think we're absolutely fine on the right. I mean, Kudus is hopefully gonna play most of the games, obviously. And then you got Brennan Johnson that can fit there as well. So
only thing I argue is that he used Johnson as a left winger the other day. And so maybe that is the plan. So if they can't get the top left-sided one, that they're okay using Johnson on the left, and they'll go for a. But I would probably have to agree. But as food for thought. Sudakov's
anyone like a little bit of Sudakov?
Sudakov's a top player, I think. That would be quite an exciting one.
Where would you play him?
I think he suits more. I know James, me and you spoke about it a lot on ours when Gibbs White was sort of happening. That having an 8 that can carry the ball and drive into the channels as well is kind of what Thomas Frank, I think, needs. And we've seen Sarr do it quite well. We've seen Berghvall do it quite well in the first couple of games. But yeah, I think he's kind of another one like that can play on the left, but a bit like Gibbs White can play on the left, but also centrally and is happy to then drive into the channels.
Just super quick, I've got to press pause on the on this for a second because he's back. He's back, everybody. And
we were just talking. It's like his ears are burning. We were just talking about Kubo. I mean, sorry, that's Lubo. Sorry.
Takifusa Lubo. We're going to call him from now on. Listen, Lubo, there's a little bit of a thing for you, my man.
Mud for you. You're always in the mud. You didn't think it could be true, and now you're in the mud.
Lubo, talk to us about my chairman, your chairman. Is it now? Is it your chairman? What are we doing?
What I will say to you is that it looks like 2 of the 3 have gone down, and Eze hasn't signed yet. So let's sort of hold our, hold your fire, mate. Nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened yet.
That's not what you were saying earlier on Davos show. I heard you say my chairman about 8 times.
Yeah. I was being sarcastic.
Nah.
It was, in fact, it was for Sean's benefit because I saw him in the chat talking about my chairman, my effing chairman. So I just thought I'll let him know. It would have been nice because I should have actually waited till tonight's show and then come on and said my and just.
What do you have to say, mate? If Tottenham Hotspur in the same 72-hour window, if we over the next couple of days, if we get a Bentancur bomber on a new contract, a Romero new contract, an Eze bomber, and maybe a Savinho bomber. I mean, do you and all the media outlets need to just what's that?
Savinho's not coming. Forget Savinho.
I'm sorry. Hold up. Hang on a minute. Trying to do it for the 4th time.
Yeah, come on, yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
It's being widely reported he's staying at City.
It's being widely by one guy.
Yeah, to be fair, Lubo, who's the other sources other than Guy and Balaguer?
I'm not saying, but he's staying.
Oh, is that you're certain? Is this your guy? Is this your sources?
He is staying.
Your sources are telling you he's staying.
Yeah.
So, and where do they get their information from?
I'm not saying. I don't know.
Lubo, with your sources, can you confirm if Eze is happening then?
Just waiting to hear.
So they're feeding you information on one player, but not the other.
I'm waiting for some more information on Eze.
The most cryptid ITK to known. He ain't happening. Why? I'm not saying he's happening, but I'm waiting to hear.
I'm just waiting for Vinay to call me.
Oh dear. So you think so how certain are you, Levi, that he's not coming? Are you 100% certain? Just like you were 100% certain that Daniel Levy had stepped away from the game until that wasn't the case anymore. And then your sources have changed their mind.
It's no good, these 100% certain, Sean, coming back from Luton. Remember?
Yeah, I know. I 100% know that. Yeah. Unless you're saying that you're certain, then there's absolutely no value in your take. No,
listen. I've been told Savinho won't be coming. He's staying at City.
Why is that?
Can't
Have
say.
you frozen? Have you frozen, or are you thinking about a get out of jail here? How
He's
do I
gonna
say?
leave for an hour now.
Sorry. He's not coming. He won't be coming.
He's rubbish anyway. Didn't want him.
Oh,
Someone
can't wait.
clip this, please.
Let's
for the
bring,
last
let's,
2 minutes.
let's bring in the Japanese Lubo anyway. Let's bring him in.
The Japanese Lumo. Nice. Wait, are you okay? So are you? Okay. Where do we go then next? Then Lubo, we going to Kubo? Is that what you want to be? He's a right winger anyway. Doesn't solve anything. That story is absolutely ludicrous to me.
I've no idea.
Just quickly, Sean. Just quickly, Sean. Go to the comment above where it's when Frank Thomas in the chat now is saying about the source being unreliable. It might be Lubo. We might have cracked the code.
I'm not the mole. I promise you. I wasn't the mole.
Yeah, certainly not. What are we doing here? Lubo is looking outside his window for smoke signals for Eze signings. Those agents are burning money to send those smoke signals. Lubo, you got to mate. You got to put your reputation on the line here, mate. I mean, it's already in the mud anyway about Daniel Levy, but now you're doubling down. You're saying that it's definitely not happening. Definitely not. If it happens, mate, your sauce is cooked, bro.
Absolutely. I'll have to find another ICK if Savino does come.
I don't know what to say. By the way, guys, please do thank you, Eugene, for putting that in the chat there, mate. Please, guys, if you enjoyed James from Spurs Related and Frank Thomas's takes this afternoon, there is the link. Please do click on it and smash the sub as well. Great guys over there. We love James and Frank. First time I met you, Frank, but you're a lovely fellow, mate. Lovely fellow indeed.
Appreciate it, Frank. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you, mate.
Yeah,
No
cheers,
worries
mate.
at all. By the way, there's also the Spurs 5 is on tonight, guys, at 8 o'clock. Don't worry, Lubo can't avoid 2 hours of absolute mudding this evening. He's going to be on from the get-go, so expect some hard graft, mate. What are we saying, boys? So I'm not sure how do we get round to it at the end. Are we saying that we are going to be signing a centre-back after we've signed Savio, even though Lubo's saying it's definitely off? After we've signed the deal that Lubo says is not happening, after we've signed Eze, is the next bomber going to be a Bentancur contract, or is it going to be another signing? And if so, what does it look like? Sort of last sort of takes. But you come on so late, Lubo. We've been talking for 2 hours, mate. You know?
Yeah.
Go on, James. One of you? Someone? Anyone?
I'll take it. I would like to hope so. Yeah. The centre back is kind of the next one, but Bentancur getting a contract would be good. Would be something that I'd be pleased about, because I'm quite a big Bentancur fan, and I think slowly but surely he looks like he's getting back to where he was pre the ACL injury. He's not there yet, but he's slowly starting to look fitter and sharper again, which is really positive. So got that contract being done would be positive, because then you've got Spence Romero and him done this summer, and then
Mikey Moore.
Yeah, and Mikey Moore, of course. I forgot about him. So yeah, you get him done as well. And then I mean, the one that I would think that Spurs might try and do as well. I've heard anything. I don't know anything. It wouldn't shock me if they go for Tyler Dibbling again. If they think a deal can be done, and it sounds like I've read that comment. That comment's come through at the exact same time. About Tyler Dibbling. That's the one that I kind of think might happen as well. He's still at
Dibbling's
Southampton.
another right winger, though, isn't he?
He is, but I think that given that he's still at Southampton, I think the Spurs will see they can probably get a cheap deal out of him. He didn't start the other day, which says to me that he's probably might be on the way. And so that wouldn't surprise me at all if Tottenham got that done. But if Savino didn't happen, maybe even if Savino did happen, but it wouldn't be a great shock to me if that was the alternative.
How about Mr. Flower? I'll throw a couple of names to you, mate. Garnacho, would you take him?
I would have until he come out and said I only wanted Chelsea. No, then not for me anymore.
He didn't actually say. Has he said that himself?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him say it, but there was a lot of reports saying that he's come out and he's met with Chelsea and he only wants to join Chelsea. So for me personally, that's not what I'm interested in. And you said about going for a centre back after a left winger. To be honest, if we get a right winger, a left winger, a cam, and a CDM, I don't care if we get no one else. I'm happy with that. I can't ask for more than 4 players in the starting 11 in one window. That's for me is class.
Okay. James, up to second. James first later. Up to you, mate.
Sure. I think Eze is going to be done. I think if you get Eze done, you get Savinho in as well. But Lubo's shut that all down tonight, so that's done. But if you get him or a similar caliber of player, it's a fantastic window. But if these all somehow fall through and nothing happens, and suddenly you've got the Levy out, Gray coming in big time, and rightly so. But I think
circling, aren't they? The vultures, they're always circling, waiting for their next opportunity to come back.
Yeah, but I think Eze's done, and I think it depends if we get a second and third signing. I'd be surprised if we get 3 signings. I think 2 more would be great. One of them Eze, of course, and then a Savinho or another caliber of player. I think personally the defense could wait till January. Obviously, I say that now, and if we get a bad injury, then we could be in the mud. But centre backs, I think we've got enough in strength and depth there. And also, don't forget we haven't had what's his name go out on loan yet.
Vuskovic. I don't want him to go on loan, mate. Can you imagine those long balls from Danzo into a penalty box where you got that lanky git being able to launch at them? If they can fine tune that, we could have so much value out of a Vuskovic Danzo combo. I think it'd be sensational.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why I don't think centre backs that desperate. But yeah, as I said, I think it'd be an incredible window if we get those 2 over the line.
The only thing I would say is with the Vuskovic thing, I think he has to go out on loan. But I'd keep him in England, whether it's Premier League or Championship, because I know what we're saying. It's good to have him to fall back on, but for me, he's going to learn a lot more playing 40 games in the Championship or 30 games in the Premier League than he is sitting on the bench and playing 3 or 4 games a season. That's why I would like him out week in, week out, being the main guy holding the defence together. I mean, Arsenal did it with Saliba, didn't they? They kind of bought him, wrote him off for 2 years and said, right, this is your guy for 2 years, keep him. And then they bought him back and he was ready to go.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I agree. But I think that for me, you can loan him out in January, right? But I think between now and January, if we can't get another centre back in, then I don't know. Radu Dragusin is not going to be ready until January or February, whatever. So I don't know. For me, I just think that this notion that he won't get the minutes at Tottenham, I think it's bonkers. Like, what are we doing here? This is Tottenham. We always have injury crises. And at the back, you've got the 2 of the 3 readily available current centre-backs are people that miss 50% of the games anyway. So like, I would imagine that Vuskovic will be playing regular minutes by about the middle of September. So I don't really understand why it is that we think he won't get minutes. Whether he's good enough or not, who knows? But I've got a feeling he's a big enough fish to be able to swim in any particular size pool.
Sean, just very, very quickly, I think also on the right wing situation, we were thinking obviously Kudus and we're thinking Johnson, and I know Frank made the point that he might play more on the left. I think that's personally just temporarily, but I'm not sure on the expected date on Kulusevski. But let's not forget he should be playing some part in the second half of the season, and he's an absolutely class player. Let's not forget about him, so he could fit in the 10 on the right wing as well. So I just think we shouldn't panic if we don't get Savinho. I think as long as we get Eze, then I think we're sweet. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Kulu gets into this team. I don't think he's a Frank type player. From what we've seen, Frank wants people that are quick, beat their man, deliver into the box. For me, I think Kulu is very good at what Kulu does. I don't think there's many better doing what Kulu does, but I think he's very slow. Take 6, 7 touches and then try deliver a ball. I mean, look at Kudos yesterday. One little touch, one bit of skill, deliver into the box. I don't think I've ever seen Kulu do that.
Kulu playing in the 10 would work, I think.
Yeah. 10, I agree.
I think like Damsgaard was last year, in that because Damsgaard's maybe didn't have the speed of some of the others, because he's just quite an intelligent footballer, and you knew that his decision making and things like that was top tier. I think Kulu's kind of that level, so I would expect Kulu to play probably in the middle with an Eze. They will rotate whatever when they come back.
Lubo, mate, what about you, buddy?
I think we need another centre-back. Frank's been looking for one all summer. That's been highly reported. You look at it, if he plays 3 at the back, you got at the moment, you've got Romero, Van der Ven, Danso. Two of those three are, prone to injury. And then you've got, who have you got after?
That's it. Takai, Ben Davies. Right now.
Takai's out. Takai's out with no known recovery dates.
That's bonkers, by the way, isn't it? That's absolutely insane.
Is it metatarsal or something like that, isn't it?
No, plantar fasciitis.
Jesus.
What did you say? Did you just make up a word?
It's a
He got it from his ITK.
Go and Google it. Go and Google it. No, it's quite a painful heel injury around the base of the foot. It's quite injury. My wife had it for a while. It's not. It takes quite some time to get over it.
Yeah, why the fuck did we sign a guy who's got a chronic injury? And he's not it's so typically weird of Tottenham to sign a player. He wouldn't have passed the medical unless we gave him, rather than asking him to run on a treadmill for a minute, we asked him to cycle because it wasn't aggravating a known injury. I don't understand why, unless it was just this guy's going to be 20 million quid.
It's 5 million, wasn't he?
Yes, what I mean, but we're paying 5 million because he's too good for that price point to ignore, and we'll hope that his injury gets better. But if the injury is a chronic injury, which means it's not going to go away, it's always going to be something that's managed, you're going to have another 30% of the minutes kind of guy there. I just find the whole thing a little bit strange, so you can't rely on him. Dragison's not fit. If Romero, if Micky van der Ven goes, imagine when is the champion? When is the Europa League? Sorry, the Champions League draw. When is
next week? 29th, is it?
28th, next Thursday.
28th, yeah.
Next Thursday. Imagine we get Real Madrid away from home in the first game, right? And then the week before, Micky van der Ven does his hammy. At this stage, we've got Ben Davies. So I never thought of it like that until I saw us playing the back three, and then suddenly the penny dropped, and I was like, actually, if we're going to do that against PSG, we're probably going to do that against Man City next weekend. We'll probably do that against 5 or 6 other teams away from home, maybe 1 or 2 in the league at home in certain scenarios. Certainly 3 or 4 of the away games in the Champions League, maybe 1 or 2 of the home games in the Champions League. If you get drawn against the Liverpool and Arsenal, whatever, in the cups away from home, you're going to be doing the same thing there. All of a sudden, you do need another centre-back. You do.
So to explain what his injury is, it's an inflammation of the plantar fascia, which is a part of your foot that connects your heel bone to your toes. Its symptoms include pain around the heel and arch of your foot. You can help it with things like rest, ice packs, and comfortable shoes. A foot specialist can help if it doesn't get any better. And you're more than likely to get it from exercising on hard surfaces, wearing shoes with poor support, or being very overweight, which we know I'm sure he's not. So that's the injury. That's
poor shoes. Maybe he's wearing Pumas, not Nikes or something. Then that will come to conclusion. Yeah.
Whatever it is, he's not had a day's training since he joined.
That's not good.
Yeah, madness.
Sean,
madness. By the way, if you were thinking that Levy out was a strong thing, how about this? Tottenham have just signed a deal with Hugo Boss, as our new fashion partner for the season. And when Daniel Levy brings good news, he brings several things at once. He's like Santa Claus. And so, listen, there's another reason why Lubo's in the mud.
No,
always in the mud.
Sean, keep him on that side of the business. That's fine. Let him carry on. Let him carry on doing all these deals, off-field deals. That's fine. Let him leave the football to people that know about it.
Yeah, but he's just gone. He's going to get us Savio, and he's going to get us Eze, mate. And he's also just signed Cutie Romero. Okay. My chairman, your chairman, our chairman. Guys, listen. It's a good time to round off. James, you got a channel? You got a show starting or something now? Have you?
Yeah. We're already 3 minutes late for our own show.
Okay, sorry, mate.
So
sorry.
We do things really time sensitively here. But yeah, pleasure being on, mate.
Pleasure having you, and pleasure having you as well, Frank. Great to meet you, mate. Guys, I can't redirect you over to you. I'd already promised Sava.
Don't worry.
But if you guys want to go over and check out Spurs Related right now, I'll put the link in. It's already been there, but sorry, Eugene, if you're still there, mate, can you put the link in again right now for James's channel? Please go over and subscribe to Spurs Related. I want to apologise to anyone that's put in super stickers or super chats. I haven't seen any of them, so I really apologise about that. I'm sending you over to Savas, and you'll see us later on at 8 p.m. on Spurs 5, where Lubo is going to get mudded. As is Stel, by the way. I can't wait for it. It's going to be sensational.
Sure, we haven't signed anyone yet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though. I'll pre-mudge you.
We've not signed anyone.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, foreplay mudding. Cheers, James. Thank you, Frank. See you, mate. See you soon, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah, there's the link, guys. Spurs Related right there. If you go over to watch them, if you stay here, you'll get redirected over to the Savas channel. But that's starting soon. Lubo, you're right. We haven't signed anybody just yet. We have just signed Cuti Romero, though. And Cuti Romero wouldn't have signed a new contract unless he was promised big things are coming, in my opinion. Do you agree?
I would say that he's probably looked at what Frank's come in and done in the last 6-7 weeks. I think he can see he's a superb coach. He can see how close we were last Wednesday at beating PSG. And he's probably looking at that thinking, do you know what? I've just got one trophy, which is what he wanted. There could be more around the corner.
It must have taken more than that, mate. It must have been like, are you going to back us? Are you going to back the manager? And Daniel Levy said,
I mean, let's not forget Atletico Madrid didn't offer the money that Spurs wanted. So, you know.
You love to downplay, don't you? You love to downplay any credibility that's knocking around. Anything that's floating is like a mosquito.
No, it's just reality. It's just what, you know, that all the papers reported it, didn't they? That Atletico Madrid wouldn't pay the money Spurs want. It's out there in the public domain.
Yeah, you know what else is in the public domain, mate? Just quickly, I put a vote up on a poll up. Do you know the current? So there's been 1,700 votes. 1,700 votes in the last hour and a half. Are you Levy in or Levy out? What percentage do you think are Levy in right now, Luba? And I'll give you a clue. Take some sort of like lesson from the amount of people that were standing next to you on Saturday morning.
Well, you're probably over 50%.
2/3 of the people that have watched this are this guy. 66% are currently Levy in, mate. You're on the wrong side of history, my man.
Well, you also said if the right people come in, I'm happy for Enid to leave.
I am, yeah. You
are. So, you know, we're on the same side here.
We're not on the same side at all. What are we doing here? We're not on the same side at all. James Flower, are you Levy in or Levy right now as it stands? Pick one camp. Which side of the road are you walking down towards the game?
Levy out.
You absolute bozo! You've spoilt my moment. I was hoping
Listen, I've said to you, I say to all the Levy out people that I talk to, listen, their opinions are their opinions, and I respect everybody's opinions. Levy ins, Levy outs, everybody. I want Levy to leave or change his ways in the transfer market. Under Ange, for me, he changed his ways. This window so far, he hasn't. He's brought in one player and one loan. So
we lost two, James. We lost two players.
One and a Lubo. Yeah, maybe, but we always do pull out that one big when we're absolutely desperate. You know, the Romero when we needed it, or the Porro when we needed it. But for me, I said to you before, like, I think it was one of the first times I come onto the show. I was Levy out at the moment that Pochettino got to that point where it was back him or fall behind. He didn't back him when we fell behind. So I think he's amazing at getting us to here, but I don't want to be here. I want to sometimes be above that. And without that, for me, he's not the right guy. But this transfer window, if he goes out and gets a Kudos, a Polinia, an Eze, a SAVINHO or an Adeyemi or someone, how can I want him to leave if he does that? Like, if you still want him to leave after that, then I'm sorry, you don't have the best interest of the club.
What I think after that,
James, opinion. That's what they have.
Is that he's set the bar now and he's got to carry on like this.
Fair enough. Listen, we will continue this conversation on Spurs 5 later. James, massive thank you for coming on, mate. Great to see you got back from the squabbles in Egypt's airport.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see you in a couple of hours, my man. To everybody that's still watching, you're going to go over to Savage. Please type in Spurs Talk Show Raid Levy in. That's what I need you to put in there, just to influence the kind of the apple cart a little bit. Guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everyone. Sorry about the super chats. If anyone putting them in, I couldn't see them. I do apologise. But look, another good day. We'll see you tonight. Take care. As always, come on, you Spurs.